and Handy Ham, Kinesis and Ballsy, and thank you so much for resubbing Kinesis. Oh my goodness. Oh man, are you guys ready for London Detective Mysteria? Because if you're not, I am not sure why you're here. Oh boy, oh boy. This chapter is The Missing Man. Last time, Holmes has no rights. We met Abigail Hudson, and that should be all of our subcast too. Not counting incidental characters, like ones that are specific to certain routes. Oh, thank you, Bloomhue. Yeah, it's time for London. Ooh. It was just past midnight. Harrington Academy was wreathed in silence, still as a graveyard. The front gates were long closed, not a single student to be seen.
眠い。
Hi, Sleepy. I'm Freya.
まったく、夜の学園の巡回なんて面倒だな。どうせ誰も来やしないのに。早く帰ってとっとと寝たいよ。
As though out to prove him wrong, the guard then heard a suspicious noise from the first floor. Ooh. Oh, are we going to be investigating the 7 mysteries of Harrington Academy?
なんだ？カリカリうるさいな。
He raised his lantern and approached the source with a stiffness set in his bones.
誰かいる？
Huh?
不審者か。
Oh. He gripped the lantern till his knuckles were white. He knew that he had to prepare himself for what could turn quite ugly. A deep breath. Silence. Then, he twisted the handle. A black shadow sprang from the room, racing down the staircase at a speed too great for him to follow.
待て!
Is it my husband, Lupin? Is he here to steal the answers to the next test? The guard unstiffened to stop this figure from escaping, but he was too late. They had already slipped into the darkness.
なんだこれは?
The sight within the classroom left him bewildered. It was a sea of white markings, some bold and in short chunks, some light and lengthy, some a mixture of both. Whether they were words or intricate symbols, he could not identify, but found them an eerie sight in the dark, dark room. Ooh? It was Monday, but the week was already off to a bad start if the weather had anything to say about it. The sky looked as though it could start raining at any moment. I kind of assumed that that was the default state of London, but go on.
なんだか今日は天気が悪いわね。何か悪いことが起こらなければいいけれど。
I'm pretty sure this is normal.
ええ、どうぞお気をつけて。お嬢様はこの家のご当主。いつ命を狙われるかわかりませんからね。
The head of the family and the only remaining member of it.
そうね。気をつけるわ。でも、いつ何があってもいいように。私も遺書を書いておこうかしら。後々のために。
To my house I bequeath. To Pendleton I bequeath this entire mansion. And to my personal belongings I bequeath to Lupin. Please keep it in your room safely, so it's like we're living together. Hi Tuxedoji, I'll be here in a couple of minutes, running slightly late. Take your time. Right now we're still in the opening act.
そうですね。自分のメッセージを残しておけば、いらぬ争いを防ぐこともできます。ですがそうならないよう、私が必ずお守りします。ご安心ください。
Oh, I really hope Pendleton doesn't die to protect us during the true route or whatever.
そう。ありがとう。そうだわ。私のお父様やお母様は遺書は残していなかったのかしら。
ええ、残念ながら。
Our conversation was interrupted by the distressing sound of breaking glass farther inside the mansion.
何かしら。
窓ガラスが割れたわけではなさそうですね。メイド長のアリシアが今日は朝から鏡の取り替えを行うと言っていましたが、もしや。申し訳ございません、お嬢様。
Alicia Alicia came into the room, flustered as one could be.
屋敷の古い鏡を運び出そうとしたら使用人の不注意で鏡が欠けてしまって。
It's okay, Alicia, we're practically family.
それよりも誰も怪我はしなかった？
はい、皆で破片を集めているところです。ああ、なんて不吉なんでしょう。早く破片を月明かりの下で地中に埋めないと。
Oh right, I forgot that's considered bad luck, isn't it? I wonder where Bad Luck Kun is. After declaring as much, Alicia scurried out of the room, each trembling step and wiggle of her shoulders displaying more panic than the last.
家の鏡が割れて放っておくと不幸が7年間続くと言われていますからね。
迷信でしょ？誰も怪我をしなくてよかったわ。
ですがお嬢様、不幸の種とは思わぬところに転がっているものです。どうかご注意を。
What sort of foreshadowing is this?
そうね。
Feeling a certain degree of unease myself, I set off to school. It hadn't taken long to notice there was something amiss in my classroom.
まあ、これは一体。
It's the alphabet? Yeah, I can't make words out of this. It's like CIY something EUNOJK. Yeah, I don't think that these were intended to be words. Or if they were, then I guess they'll have Freya pointed out. I was left speechless at the sight. From end to end, wall to wall, desk to desk, everything was liberally covered in chalk scribblings. Some were made up of English letters, whilst others included seemingly random marks and symbols. Yeah, like there's the infinity sign on that door over there.
この走り書き、暗号かしら。
Hi, Tuxedoji. Someone vandalized our classroom.
チョークでこんな走り書きを残していくなんて、いたずらにしてはタチが悪すぎる。
Yeah, but you look pretty happy about that, Gordon. Do you only have one face? Oh, such is the life of a side character.
誰かこのクラスに恨みがある人の仕業でしょうか。黒板はともかく机にも書き散らかすなんて。
And that's pretty impressive. There are some surfaces here that chalk really shouldn't work against.
これは朝から一体何の騒ぎだ？
What the doice? Moriarty had a math breakthrough and had to jot it down. That's not letters, it's algebra. Oh!
なんだよこの教室、チョークまみれじゃないか。
Holmes and Watson were as wide-eyed as everyone else who entered. It's okay. It's not your fault you're not used to such advanced mathematics. Next to arrive were Akechi and Kobayashi.
見回りをした警備員の話だと、
And they haven't cleaned it up?
先週末の深夜、怪しい男がこの教室から出ていくところを目撃したそうです。
I mean, if they cleaned all of this up, then maybe the person who did this would sneak back in to try to draw it all out again?
泥棒に入られたかもしれないからヤードに通報して学園をくまなく調べてもらったらしいけど、この教室以外には何の被害もなかったみたい。
By the sound of it, they had gone to question the school's guard immediately after seeing the classroom. Deuce is pronounced like use, like it's no use. Oh, I see.
そしてヤードはご丁寧に現場を保管しておいてくれたというわけか。痛み入る配慮だな。
Oh, Holmes, are your little gray cells activated?
犯人はチョークを扱い慣れているのでしょうか。どの机も見事な仕上がりです。それに無駄な石灰の粉がほとんど出ていません。
おい明智、お前犯人を褒めたたえてどうするんだよ。
別に褒めたたいているわけではありません。走り書きでも列は水平、最低限の事態を守っています。犯人は几帳面な人物なのかもしれません。
When I look at him from the back like this, I kind of want to reach over and pat his head. You know what I mean?
俺英語の読み書きはまだあんまり自信ないからな。教本はともかく走り書きになるとな。
でもこの走り書きの最後の跳ね方、書き方に癖があるな。これどこかで見たことある気がするんだけど、誰だっけ。
Hi, Han. Hello. Somebody vandalized our classroom and we don't know who.
マッケンジー先生だな。
Oh, is this Mr. Mackenzie's handwriting?
マッケンジー先生ね。
Holmes and Marples, speaking with such snappy unison, spelt the writing on the wall better than any chalk could. I too couldn't help but feel I'd seen this handwriting.
はい、皆さん。
Yeah, well, that's rude of them. Yeah. we didn't recognize our own teacher's handwriting.
この前の授業では、スコットランド女王メアリーと協力者バビントンの間で交わされた暗号を紹介しましたが、
Oh?
今日は海を越え、フランス王妃のマリー・アントワネットが使った暗号を紹介しましょう。
Is Marple the blonde girl? I would consider it more of a strawberry-ish color.
黒板を見てください。ここに書いた暗号の大きな特徴は、アルファベットの他に&が頻繁に使用されていることで、
確かに先生は黒板に文字を書くとき、いつも最後を跳ね上げていたわ。
なるほど。先生の字体の特徴まで把握しているとは勉強になります。
That's right, people tend to have
文字
handwriting
に
when they
癖が
write
出
by
るの
hand,
は
Akechi.
英語も日本語も同じですね。
Akechi wasted no time in jotting down notes.
ところで、その先生はまだかな。そろそろ教室に来てもおかしくない時間だけど。
What an obvious thing we missed! As he said that, the school bell chimed to indicate the start of lessons. The classroom door creaked, and we all turned expecting to see him at the doorway.
先生がお休みなので、1限目の授業は自習だそうです。
He sounds so shy about it. Oh, I gotta record him. I gotta. Yes.
先生がお休みなので、1限目の授業は自習だそうです。
Oh, I love him. Lupin was standing there, typical meek posture and all instead.
先生が休み？
今まで一回も休んだことなんてないのに、ますます怪しいわね。
He's been kidnapped. He's been poisoned. He's been poison kidnapped.
そういえば
ワトソン君、何か思い当たることでも？
この前マッケンジー先生、もう先が長くないみたいなことを言ってた。
Sensei, aren't you are you going to teach us? I couldn't. Would you like me to teach you? Oh, I would teach Lupin so many things. Miss Whiteley, you're going to scare him. That's my intention. Lupin, teach us how to capture your heart.
それ本当かよ、ワトさん。
あの時の先生、いつも以上に冴えない顔してたよ。
まさか何者かに命を狙われていた。それでこうやって私たちに手がかりを残したっていうの？大げさじゃない？でもこんな大掛かりなこと、よほどの事情があったに違いないわ。
With the infinity sign, maybe Tuxedoji is right and he really did have a mathematical breakthrough. Like, what if he just had, like, a limited time left to, I don't know, academia, mail in his dissertation?
ルーピン、先生はどうして休みなんだ？
僕もわかりません。でも先生から連絡はないそうですし、まさかひょっとして。
He sounds so cute. Oh man, I wonder who the Seiyu is.
落ち着きたまえ、ルーピン君。
Holmes' eyes were focused on the cryptic writing. I'm going to be poisoned and or kidnapped. I must identify my poison and or kidnapper, so I will quickly jot down a clever clue. Very quickly. Exactly.
マッケンジー先生は僕たちに何かを伝えようとして暗号を残したんだろう。これは事件の可能性も十分に考えられる。慎重に行動すべきだ。
For example, why is it with chalk and all over the classroom at that? Like, would a paper be too easily missed? It feels like the chalk would take significantly more time and be more easily misread.
そうね。
The normally fun, pleasant atmosphere of the classroom, can't relate, had devolved into one of great tension.
でもこのままだとみんなチョークの石灰で制服が真っ白になっちゃうわ。先にしっかり記録を取って文字を消しましょう。
So, where do you propose we start, Sarah?
記録なら今取ったぜ。ホームズの弁も。ほら。
Aw, Watson, you're such a good boy. Come on down, let me pat your head. Pat, pat. Watson proudly shared a piece of paper with the coded messages copied on.
さすがワトソン君。単調作業ならお手の物だな。
Holmes, don't be rude.
いちいち引っかかる言い方だよな。
私も控えたわ。
僕も控えました。小林の分。
Wow, these are quick writers here.
ありがとな、アゲチェ。
僕も取りました。
You're doing amazing, sweetie.
ジャックはちゃんと控えた？
The class's gaze centered on Jack, who was sitting at his desk.
知らねえよ。
しっかり書き写したようだな。一限目が始まったばかりだというのにペンのインクが指に染みている。仕事が早いな。
He's being tsundere towards being a detective. God, Kobayashi's eyes are huge. Yeah, they are. That's just life as the short stack character. This is how their self-study period goes, huh? Yep.
ホームズ。マジうぜ。
Jack turned away from all of us.
それで誰かこの暗号を解読できる？
悪いけど、俺には何のことだか。
If it had any sort of punctuation, then we could make some educated guesses. Assuming that it's a Caesarian cipher, at least.
僕も同じく。でも、図書館に行けば何かわかるかもしれません。
そうね。行きましょう。ここで頭を悩ませていても仕方ないわ。
おう、暗号のことはお前らに任せた。
Oh, I think this is new music. This is groovy. We're having so much fun. Our teacher is gone and we have no substitute.
僕らはここで待っているから何か分かったら教えてください。
That's suspicious.
分かった。お前らここを頼むぞ。
Kobayashi is just ready to fight. Then I'll have a study session regarding all this around the traditional British kotatsu later.
なんか事件かもしれないのに胸が熱くなってきたな。頑張ろうぜ。
頑張ろうぜ。
小林、僕たちはマッケンジー先生の尽力があってこそこの学園に来ることができたんですよ。先生が事件に巻き込まれているかもしれないのにはしゃぐのはやめなさい。不謹慎です。
分かってるってアケチェ。
At that point, Jack caught my eye. He was showing no obvious interest in accompanying us.
そうよ。ジャックなら何か知っているかもしれないわ。暗号には興味がなさそうなのにメモも取っていたし。
Does he recognize this? Does he recognize the cipher? Was he paying especially close attention during the lesson about the cipher? Is he the only one in the class who remembers what it was? I'm sure that Holmes also remembers what it was. And since he hasn't mentioned it, maybe he's saving it for the right time? The only two ciphers that I know are Caesarian, which is like a one-to-one between letters, and I think it was called Renier, something like that. It definitely started with a V, so that it would where you had this key phrase and a table of letters, and you needed to move each whatever. It was kind of like those decoder rings that you got in cereal boxes. Those are children's play, but since this isn't really a story built on its mystery so much as the romance, the children's play thing wouldn't be entirely out of the question at all. Unsurprisingly, he was half-lidded and watching nothing in particular. I engage him? No. I stared wordlessly at Jack, observing his usual routine. My heart belongs to Lupin.
また窓の外を見てるのね。
なんだよ、ジロジロ見やがって。
ジャック、君にはこのメッセージの意味がわかるのか？
俺には関係ないだろう。別に先生が一日くらい来なくても、この落書きの意味がわかんなくても。
君は自分宛てに届いた手紙を無視するのか？
Letters, they're Jack's weak point, because we're sending them to him.
悪いのかよ。それに。
Jack!
手紙なんてめったに来ないし。
My child, you are breaking my heart.
それならなおさらメッセージを読み解くべきだ。
Jack sent Holmes a frosty glare. Holmes, meanwhile, stood and stared in silence.
俺は知らねえよ。暗号だかなんだか知らないけど、勝手にやれよ。
The matter settled as much as any matter with Jack could be, he sat back down. Oh, Holmes got a good one there. I thought it a shame we couldn't get him to help us. As we were about to leave the classroom, someone called out to me. Ah, Lupin?
ミス・ホワイトリー。
Ah. Akechi approached.
どうしたの？
申し訳ありませんが、僕と小林はここで別行動を取らせてもらいます。
Aw, Akechi, don't you want to be friends?
どうして？
Jack's tsundere for everyone.
そんな悲しげな顔をしないでください。別にあなたと操作したくないわけではありません。
I could go for Holmes, Jack. Honestly, yeah, I could see it.
もし本当に先生が危険な目に遭っているとしたら、暗号を解読する前に手遅れとなる可能性があります。そうならないためにも、僕たちは暗号以外の判断材料から事件を洗ってみます。
So it's a matter of let's split up, gang.
だからこの暗号のことは任せたぜ。よろしく頼む。
おいおい、投げっぱなしにするのか？
Come on, be nice to them. English is their second language. Actually, the volume seems kind of weird on my end, so, just a second. Let me see about, testing, and, is this good? Da-da-da-dum, da-da-da-da-da-da-dum, bum. Sorry, I'm really sensitive about my volume settings. Seems good to me? Okay, good. You guys would tell me if anything is wrong, right? Because when I looked, my microphone was registering as pretty low, so that's why I am nervous. It's okay, I gotta have confidence.
まあ待ちたまえ、ワトソン君。彼らの言うことにも一理ある。違う観点から事件を見ることも時には重要だ。
I have before, yes, and I appreciate it so much, Han. Just let him go.
明智さん、どうか気をつけてね。私たちも暗号を解読できるように頑張るわ。
頑張るわ。
はい。先生が無事であることを祈るばかりです。
じゃあな、そっちも頑張れよ。
Akechi and Kobayashi hurried out of the classroom.
もし先生がすでに何か事件に巻き込まれているなら、注意して暗号を解読しないとね。
ああ、その通りかもな。
Jack, did he come along after all?
あら、ジャック？
I was quite surprised upon Jack's interjection.
ジャック、自分には関係ないと言っていたけれど、やっぱり
Holmes got him all
事件の
pumped
ことが
up.
きっとジャックも先生が心配なんだわ。一緒に捜査する気になってくれてよかっ
なんだよ、ニヤニヤしやがって。
た。なんでもないわ。
そもそもこのメッセージ自体は目くらましの可能性もある。
Really? All that effort?
そこから意味を読み取ろうと必死に解読させて、他の事件から目をそらす。案外そんなこともあるかもな。
君の意見も一理あるな。だが目くらましだとしても、これは確かに先生の筆跡だ。
Right. Even as a distraction, this writing has some sort of meaning to it.
まあまあ、この文字、最後の羽は確かにあの先生独特のものだ。ペンを使うときにはこの癖は出にくいけど、チョークだと最後の羽は顕著に出る。
Jack sought the notes he'd written on his desk for reference.
誰かが先生の筆跡を真似たとしても、チョークを使う時の癖までを真似ることは難しい。脅して書かせたってこともあり得る。
Unintentionally, my eyes wandered over to Jack's notes, and I couldn't believe what I was seeing.
ジャック、まさかあなたのノート。
Is Jack the master at copying people's handwriting? Despite my efforts to hold it in, I squeaked out a tiny gasp.
授業ごとに先生の筆跡まで真似で写しているのね。すごいわ。
Oh. That sure would come in handy for him, huh?
バカ、勝手に見えるの。
He's embarrassed.
この右肩上がりの筆跡は僕の真似か。よく書けているじゃないか。
先生に当てられて黒板に答えを記入した時のだ。じろじろ見るな。
That's so cute.
こっちの荒くて子供みたいな字はワトソン君を真似たんだな。実に正確に書き写している。
That's really cute of him, how he copies even the handwriting. Jack, please stop committing crimes.
そこまで言う必要ないだろ。いつも俺が初期してるじゃんか。それに将来はホームズの助手として式をまとめて本を書くつもりなんだ。その時に字の練習を。
Just like your dad, huh?
その時にはタイプライター変えよ。これマジ読みにくい。悪かったな。とにかく今は先生のメッセージ読み解くんだろ。
That's right, we can save the bullying once an hour for later. With the mood considerably more cheery than before, we made our way to the library. Once there, we put our heads together and started looking over each of the messages we had copied. Oh geez, this is huge. Rich people.
これは俺の机にあったメッセージ。そしてこっちがホームズのだ。
これはおそらく単一開示式暗号だな。
I think it would be pretty tough without punctuation to be able to tell where, say, without spacing and punctuation to tell which is I or A or S.
単一開示式暗ねえホームズ。単一開示式暗号って
一つの文字を一つの文字に対応させたシンプルな暗号のことだ。例えば、元の文章を書くとき、アルファベットなら A から Z を使うだろう。それに、あらかじめ決められた対応表を作り、例えば、 最もシンプルに A を B に B を C に変えて暗号を作る。つまり1文字分だけシフトする。
And another popular substitution would be row 13, where you would replace A with, say, M, B with N, C with O, etc.
例えばホームズならこうなる。
確かに。それならすぐホームズと読めないわ。
そうでもないさ。暗号を使い慣れた人間にはこの程度のシンプルな暗号ではまるで人の言葉のように見える。まあそんな人間はごくわずかだが。
でも先生のメッセージには絵文字もあるわ。どうやってアルファベットに戻していくの？
Is Holmes suggesting that the symbols are the punctuation?
いいか。そもそもアルファベットには使われる頻度がある。先生の暗号を見たまえ。こうして見ると何度も頻繁に登場する記号がある。
I know that E is the most common letter in the alphabet. Though I don't know the frequency of the other vowels.
ああ、確かに。この記号も、これも。
アルファベットの中で最も使用頻度の高い文字は E、次いで T、A、O と続いていく。その登場頻度によってアルファベットを入れていき、多少の間違いを正してやれば変換ルールとなる鍵を特定できる。
I see. Starting off based on assumptions. That's a bit risky, but it's probably the best shot we have without punctuation.
例えば、先生のこのメッセージの場合も、最も登場頻度の高いこの記号が E だ。次いで T。
それじゃあ、この2つ表記が続いているものは、
オール、スコット、ミッションなど、2つ連続して表記されるものも限られる。
つまり S や T、L などが該当するのね。
But it could also be G for egg, or F for affable, or P for apples, or E for week, or C for accusation.
そういうことだ。ちなみに他には E や O も当てはまる。
Or B for Abbott. Exactly, Tuxedoji.
それを繰り返して一文字ずつ確かめていくのか。ちょっと手間がかかるな。
E-T-A-I-O-N-S, if I recall correctly, was the order of the most common letters. Oh, Italians.
でももう少し簡単に解くこともできるわ。これスコットランド女王のメアリー・スチュアートの暗号で使われる記号に似ているもの。
そうですね。図書館に暗号についての本もあるはずですよ。
I love how he always sounds like he's out of breath.
探してみましょ
う。
イングランドで出版された英国史の本を調べてみましょう。
Guess at the very least it probably doesn't hurt to try to plug in letters. Yeah. We're just doing what we can. I set about sifting through one of the shelves on the right-hand side of the library.
英国の歴史、英国社会の変遷。とりあえず英国の歴史を読んでみようかしら。
Relying on my slightly hazy memories of one of the books on the shelf, I picked it up and started reading. Mary Queen of Scots, though. Yeah, but I'm going from top to bottom just in case this is one of those choices where I need to go through everything. If it turns out it's one of the things that affects my stats, then I'm going to rewind like the cheater I am. Regrettably, its focus was entirely on the assassination plot and contained no detailed information on the cipher.
何か分かった？
いいえ、この本には詳しいことは。
それじゃあ別の棚も探してみよう。
Just as he said that, Holmes wandered over from the direction of the innermost books. Cheating is valid, thank you, Hen.
ミス・ホワイトリー、闇雲に探しても時間の無駄だ。
But blindly searching always helps when it comes to the other investigations. My eyes were drawn to the book in his hand.
バビントン陰謀事件の実態。そうだわ。国家の機密に関わることを聖史に載せるわけがないわ。
I mean, would a substitution cipher be listed as a state secret?
この事件ではメアリー・スチュアートは暗号を使っていた。
やっとわかったか。ほら、探しておいたぞ。この本を見てみたまえ。
Well, let's load it so that we can get to it before Holmes does.
犯罪についての本を調べてみましょう。スコットランド女王メアリー・スチュアートは暗号を使ってイングランド女王の暗殺計画をやり取りしていたわ。
That's right, eat my dust, Holmes.
当時の事件が分かれば暗号についてもおのずと分かってくるはずよ。イングランド女王暗殺計画の事件、確かバビントン
Look,
陰
I
謀
got
事件だ
points
った
for
わ。
myself. At least that's what I'm assuming that little chibi means. I started looking in the bookshelves farther inside the library. I searched through the top shelf of a particular bookcase after borrowing a stepladder, upon which good fortune finally came to me.
あったわ。バビントン陰謀事件の実態、この本ね。
I extended my hand out as far as I could reach, and just as I thought I had it, Lupin? I lost my balance. I'd fully expected a harsh landing on the floor, but no such thing came. Rather, the landing was a soft one. Is it Lupin, my soft boy?
お前、重いんだよ。
Oh, it's Jack.
ジャックどうして私の下に？
Why do you think?
いいからさっさとどけ。俺が奥にいたことに気づかなかったのかよ。
ごめんなさい。暗号のことばかり考えていて。
ったく。
As I stood, Marple appeared from a neighboring bookshelf.
今すごい音がしたんだけど、何事？
こいつが勝手に落ちてきて。
なんでもないわ、マープル。本を落としただけよ。
That's rude. I moved to cover Jack's mouth at such a speed that I nearly looked as if I were slapping him. Sarah is so concerned.
そう。で、あなた、本は見つかったの？ええ。この本に暗号のことが書かれているはずよ。見つかってよかったわ。それと、あなたたち、結構仲良しだったのね。意外だわ。
Is Sarah jealous that we're getting along with Jack? Is she jealous that her little puppy is getting along with a wolf? Oh, says Sarah. Marple left the conversation at that and wandered off to a nearby bookshelf.
ったく、いい加減離れろ。
ジャック、さっきのことはみんなには言わないね。
Why?
あんなくだらないことを誰が言うかよ。いきなり他人の口を塞いでくるなんて。お前本当にお嬢様か？
ごめんなさい。とっさのことで体が勝手に。もしかして怒った？
トミー、危なっかしいやつだな。
Oh, is that a smile? Oh. I think that he's smiling at us.
二度と俺の頭上に降ってくるな。
Like Marple, Jack chose a cryptic end to the conversation before leaving. Oh. Maybe this is a Jack chapter then? Whose message shall I decipher first? Lupin!
ルーピーのメッセージを解いてみましょう。
Yeah, I love him. I love him.
何の暗号だかわかりますか？
そうね。特徴としてアルファベットの他にアンドが頻繁に入っているから。
They mentioned that during the lesson, didn't they?
すごい。この暗号知ってるんですか？ミス・ホワイトリー。
確かこの暗号はマリー・アントワネットの暗号かしら。
ああ、僕もそれ 聞いたことあります。前に先生が授業で話してた暗号ですよね。ミス・ホワイトリー。よく覚えてましたね。僕、すっかり忘れてました。
Lupin, you're such a smooth talker. We persisted through the ciphers, questioning, decoding, pursing our lips in irritation when without a clue, and cheering when one was solved beyond doubt. Each success was enough to restore our motivation for the rest. We're just skipping through all the other ciphers, aren't we?
これで全ての暗号が揃ったわね。早く教室のみんなにも教えてあげなきゃ。
We retired for the classroom as though there wasn't a second to spare.
さて、バラバラのメッセージを続けて読むとこうだ。
They really did clean up.
私の命はもう長くはないだろう。
たとえ非常の刃でこの身を切り裂かれることになっても、君たちを教えることができてよかった。
先生。
みんながこの手紙を解読している頃には、私はもう天に召されているかもしれない。
先生。
ベッドでみんなの顔を思い浮かべながら毎日過ごしています。
セントオルワース 112A より親愛なる君たちへ。
None of us could contain our shock.
マッケンジー先生。
刃で身を切り裂かれる？やっぱり命を狙われてるってことか？
God, that's such a long message. Yeah. Though actually, couldn't he have just written that on the chalkboard? There's no need to involve the desks and the walls, is there?
ワトソン君、特に大切なのは最後の住所だ。他は予測できていた事態だからな。だが、悪い予感がする。この住所はひょっとして。
It's not Mr. Mackenzie's home address?
どうしたの、ホームズ。この住所に何があるか知っているの？
Or maybe is Mr. Mackenzie quoting somebody else?
いや、なんでもない。気にしないでくれ。
でも、早く向かった方がいいわ。先生にもしものことがあったら。
大丈夫でしょうか。罠じゃないですよね。
It's okay. Lupin, you'll protect me, right?
だとしても、先生につながる手がかりはそこに行かなきゃつかめなさそうよ。
I don't think I ever noticed before how much her skirt like fluffs up at that. Marple's skirt is so long. I love it.
ええ、行きましょう。
Our apprehension growing ever stronger, we ran. We traveled after hailing a cab. The address was revealed to us when it finally stopped.
ホームズ、まさかここって？
ああ、見ての通り、墓地さ。
The chime of church bells was distinct. Lightning flickered across the sky and rain began to pound against us to create a woeful painting. The sight within the graveyard grew more unsettling when we observed eerie silhouettes not far away. They were all dressed in black clothing, sniffling and sobbing and holding one another. We approached. Carved on one of the gravestones closest to them was an all too familiar name.
まさか。
In loving memory. Mackenzie. Wait, he didn't have a first name?
遅かったのか。
All of us were left speechless by the reality before us. Then, just like that, the silence was broken.
ああ、皆さん。どうしたんです？こんなところで。
So that's why there's not a first name? I turned in response to the voice and was at a sudden loss.
先生どうして？
A sudden loss.jpg. Moments before, we had been convinced he was laid to rest, but there he was, standing, alive! I mean, it makes sense. It would take more than one weekend to get together a funeral.
マッケンジー先生まさか昇天しきれずに幽霊に
Oh my god, this BGM. Oh, I am going to run out of voice slots. Okay, yes, I'm going to save this anyway. But I've got to be more frugal from here on out.
いやいや、私はこの通り生きてますよ。今日は古い友人の葬式に出ていたんです。
先生、私たち先生の残した暗号を解読したんです。そうしたらここの住所が書かれていて。
そうですか。みんなあの暗号を解いてくれたんですね。
マッケンジー先生、速やかに説明をお願いします。
Oh my god, was that actually Mr. Mackenzie's homework for us?
あ、住所については私の家がこの墓地の隣なんですよ。
先生がメッセージで示した住所は
I can't
先
believe
生
this.
のご実家だったってこ
I
と
can't
ですか？
believe this.
それじゃああちらにあるマッケンジーの名前のお墓は？
私の父親のお墓です。だいぶ前に肝炎で亡くなってしまって奇遇にもこんなに近くで。
そんなに喜ぶことなんてないだろう。
Look, even Jack the Ripper thinks so.
じゃあ先生が命を狙われて逃げ回っているというのは、この先もう命は長くないだろうって。
いや、実は
Mr. Mackenzie?
急に盲腸炎にかかってしまって。
Okay, now that's important.
盲腸炎。
医者から手術しなきゃ助からない。メスでお腹をざっくり切ろうって言われて、麻酔のクロロホルムを使われて体を刻まれるなんて嫌だし、麻酔なしで手術するのはもっと怖いし。
Yeah, that is definitely fair.
で、自分の味方
Mr.
に
Mackenzie?
逃げ回っていたんです。
What are you, 5?
先生、子供じゃないんですか？
I can't believe this. Mr. Mackenzie, give back all of the tears that we cried.
その通りです。お腹を切るだけに私もついに腹を決めたんですよ。心残りがないようにみんなに暗号でメッセージも残して。
Mr. Mackenzie, please. Please, not the dad jokes.
それで手術を受けたんですね。
ええ、おかげさまでお腹をざっくりいけましたよ。これで何の憂いもなく学園に行けます。
Okay, now I'm more certain than ever before. Mr. Mackenzie might not be the real Jack the Ripper, but he is very weird. We choose to stand forever. Mr. Mackenzie, you scared us all. Jack was inconsolable. Mr. Mackenzie relayed his tale with gaiety, but he was the only person among us who wore a smile. I don't think that's what happens during surgery. Yeah, you try telling that to Mr. Mackenzie.
ジャック、そんな物騒なことを言っちゃダメよ。みんなも先生の手術が無事に成功してよかったわよね。
I suppose.
まあ、先生が生きていてよかったです。
先生の最後の宿題の内容が遺書だったら解読しても後味悪いよな。
皆さん、私を心配してくれたんですね。どうもありがとう。
Aw, that's so cute. He was so deeply, genuinely moved that the entire class lost its will to complain any further.
あら？私のポケットに何か。
I felt a folded piece of paper in my pocket and removed it to read its contents.
アントワネットの暗号だわ。ということはルーピンね。
Lupin? Then do you have something to say to us?
ちょっと難しいけれど、これは
君の笑顔に感謝と愛を。
I can't not say that.
まあ、ルーピンったら大胆なのか天然なのか。
Oh, daring indeed. Oh, I gotta replay that.
君の笑顔に感謝と愛を。
Did you hear that? He gives his thanks and his love.
君の笑顔に感謝と愛を。
I peeked toward Pippin, who looked as though all of his energy had left him upon discovering Mr. Mackenzie was in good health. Look at that face! That embarrassed face. I'm saving. Yes. Our gazes met briefly, but he looked away from me with flushed cheeks.
でも嬉しいわ。どうもありがとう。
This is a good chapter. I gently closed my fingers around the message. I folded the message and placed it carefully in my pocket. The rain had stopped. As quickly as it had come, it was gone and clear, just like my heart. I'll keep the letter forever, Lupin. It's my treasure. The day had been an eventful one, but I was delighted that our mystery ended with Mr. Mackenzie safe. Perhaps it was worth the anxiety to know we could come together as a class. Pendleton was the first to greet me upon my return.
お嬢様、何やら充実したお顔をなさっていますね。
What a sneaky smile. The man was up to no good, and we'll love it.
それって一体どういう顔？
大変疲れたけれど、それに勝るほど嬉しいこともあった。まるで私のお説教とクリスマスが同時にやってきたようなお顔です。
That's right, it's Pendleton time. It's Pendle time!
例えがなんだか引っかかるけれど、今日はちょっと疲れたけれど、みんなと協力して何かを成し遂げるなんて初めてのことだったもの。
And teamwork makes the dream work.
そう、これが充実しているというのね。
ずいぶん嬉しそうですね。浮かれて油断しきったお顔です。
It's because we got a love letter. Sir, not to sound weird, but I wish to use your hair as a face mask.
油断しきった顔だなんて失礼ね。私。
なるほど。
As I started to wonder whether I might have bordered on being overconfident, Pendleton's still no good grin grew especially devilish. Oh.
そうですね。それではそのお言葉が本当かどうか確かめるために。
If it's test time, then I'll do a quick save.
今夜にでもお嬢様の寝込みを襲わせていただきます。よろしいですか？
I nearly lost my footing from how sharply my heart thumped.
よろしいですか？ ですって？よろしいわけないでしょ。私が一度寝たらなかなか起きないこと知っているでしょ。そもそもレディにそんな質問をすること自体いろいろ間違っていると思うんだけれど。
ほんの冗談ですよ。ですがお嬢様、強気すぎる発言は後で痛い目を見ますよ。
Pendleton, don't tease us.
まったく、あなたホワイトリー家の執事としては有能だけれど人としては難癖あるね。
有能とお褒めいただき光栄です、お嬢様。
I love him. With nothing more to be said, I twisted my heel and prepared for a pleasant evening at home. Ah, we got a detective's medal. From who? It's a reward for demonstrating intelligent, well-reasoned logic in the solving of cases. Is it because we got 100% so far? And not through cheating? We definitely didn't cheat? Oh? Oh wow, this was a really short chapter. Maybe we can do two today. Then. Oh man, my
ピ
tongue
ク
is
ニ
a
ッ
mess.
クパニック。
A gathering in shambles? Interesting. Well, I'll do another save here. And let's continue today. 2 chapters in 1 day. Oh, how exciting. Once again, the morning was beautiful. Once again, the sky was clear as could be. It was the most perfect day one could dream for a picnic.
お嬢様、さあ、こちらが本日のお弁当です。
ありがとう。ってペンデルトン？どうしてこんなに大きなバスケットが2つも？
ええ、お嬢様は成長期ですし、今日くらいは昼食をお楽しみいただこうと。
Who are you and what have you done with Pendleton?
確かにとても素敵なお弁当ね。でも
ええ、今日は課外授業のピクニックで語学友と直接ハイドパークに集合されるのでしょ。ですからこのお弁当は語学友とご一緒に。
そうよね。みんなで食べるならこの量でもあっという間よね。
決してお一人で完食なさらぬようまさかとは思いますが。
当然よ。そんなわけないでしょ。さあ、もう行きましょう。
Oh, she doesn't sound very convincing. We set off in the carriage, and after some familiar swaying to and fro inside, I arrived at Hyde Park at a prompt 11 o'clock in the morning. This is making me hungry. Me too. I already had dinner. I wasn't the first to arrive, however. My schoolmates appeared to have already started in on the fun.
あら、あれはホームズにワトソンだわ。
遅いぞ、ミス・ホワイトリー。
よかった。君が来てくれるのを待ってたんだ。
Aw, look at this boy in love.
こんにちは、ワトソン。どうしたの？そんなに慌てて。
実はちょっと厄介なのがついてきちゃって。
Is Miss Hudson here?
厄介？
Abby?
こら！せっかくお弁当を作ってくれたレディに向かってなんてこと言うのよ。
Yeah, be nice to the little lady.
ハドさん、どうしてここに？あなたの助手として今日はピクニックのお弁当を作ってきたのよ。
Oh, we have 2 lunches. The moment she laid eyes on me, she was more than content to dash over and cling to me as a child would their mother. Oh.
授業の一環だから部外者は来ちゃダメって言ったんだけど、ついていくって聞かなくて。
連れて行かなければ昼食の弁当は渡さないと交換条件を突きつけてきたんだ。
Truly Miss Hudson knows the way to a man's heart, or specifically to crushing their hearts. Their reactions to the situation couldn't have looked any different. Holmes and Watson were sullen, whilst Hudson bounced up and down, positively radiant. You're doing amazing, sweetie.
あなたにもどうしても食べてほしくて。
Always.
どうかしら。私もほら、バスケットを2つも。まあ、さすが。私が助手を務める方、気合が違うわね。
はい、皆さん、聞こえますか？集合してください。集合。
He sounds as unenthusiastic as always. Oh, but we know that he loves us. We were amongst those who could, in fact, hear him, though we were a fair distance away.
はい、先生。はーい。
We did as instructed and hurried over to him as quickly as we could. He was quick to notice someone rather, was out of place.
おや、集合したのは2人だけですか？しかも、君は誰です？
私は彼女の助手です。ホームズとワトソンの世話係としてお食事も持ってきたんです。
そうですか。小さいのに偉いものです。集合の合図に応えてくれないホームズ君たちよりよっぽど偉い。
私はワトソンより有能な助手ですもの。当然ですわ。
それに引き換え。
I surveyed the surroundings.
あれはマープル？紅茶を用意するなんてさすがだわ。
Let's sit next to Lupin. With expert delicacy, she held a teacup in one hand and was pouring with the other. Holmes, who had been with me only moments before, was deathly focused at the ground through a magnifying glass. Watson was nowhere to be seen. Lupin had fallen fast asleep whilst leaning against a tree. Kobayashi and Akechi were lazing about on the grass. And since he was somewhat hidden by the trees, I spotted Jack last. He seemed to be in deep thought. Let's sleep next to Lupin.
みんな本当に自由ね。気づいたらさっきまでいたハドソンもいないわ。
Oh, we've lost our child.
待って、私の長女さん。
Hudson!
まったく仕方ないわね。
Lord, oh Lord.
本当に困りましたね。ハイドパークで課外授業ともなるとみんなすっかり開放的になってしまって。
せっかくクラスのみんなで来ているのに、事件がない時は本当にまとまりがないんだから。
Is it time to stage a murder?
それじゃあいっそ事件でも起こしてみましょうか。ハイドパーク連続殺人事件。
Mr. Mackenzie, I was joking.
ダメですよ、そんなの。というか、どうして刃物を持ってきているんですか？
ああ、これはデザートに持ってきたリンゴの皮を剥くためのものです。決して可愛い生徒たちに殺意なんか。
I trust him and I love him. As he said that, Mr. Mackenzie grabbed the knife with shaking hands. The sight alone was enough to send my mind to wild places and make my heart rate spike. Mr. Mackenzie, please be careful about your fingers. In fact, I urge you to perish. The thought.
先生、わかりましたから落ち着いて。私がみんなに声をかけてきますから、先生はここで待っていてください。
ああ、ありがとうございます、ホワイトリーさん。君だけが頼りですよ。
先生、ナイフを振り回さないでください。
おっと、すみません。私としたことがつい。
Please don't slip your hand while you're peeling apples. Having agreed to do so, I set off to go and gather up my schoolmates before any of them ended up dead.
さて、誰から声をかけようかしら。みんな見事にバラバラだけど。
Yeah, you don't think that it matters, but we're going for Lupin first anyway. Lupin.
ルピン、 本当に眠っているのかしら。
There's only one way to check. Lean your shoulder. Lean your head against his shoulder. Oh, or lean his head against your shoulder. Curious as could be, I strolled over to where he was sitting to inspect the scene. Don't worry, Mr. Mackenzie. Wanting to murder your students is only natural for a teacher. It's only when you start planning it you really need to take a long holiday. Upon taking a closer look, he certainly appeared as though he were fast asleep. His eyes were closed, his breathing was light, and he was quite comfortably leaning against the tree. There was also a book next to him. He likely fell asleep whilst reading it. What if I were to... As I approached, Lupin hadn't even twitched. He was certainly in a deep sleep, and utterly defenseless. The mischievous little devil in me couldn't resist rearing its head before a face so angelic.
ちょっとくらい大丈夫よね。
It's okay, Lupin. You can pay me back threefold later.
ルーピンって本当に肌が綺麗よね。
I placed a hand along his cheek. Skin so beautiful, was as smooth as I expected it to be. It felt much like tracing my fingers along spider's silk. Gotta head off for now. See you later. Bye, Han!
男の子なのにこんなに綺麗な肌をしているなんて。
You feel lust. I went to pinch his cheeks, conscious to show the same tenderness a mother cat might have carrying her children at the nape. No, I can't save this. I gotta save enough save slots for his own route.
ルーピン眠ったままね。
He did stir ever so slightly, as if I'd been tickling him, but he showed no signs of waking. As I stared, scrutinizing every little detail of his features, a considerably less devilish thought came to mind. Saving. Yes.
そういえばルーピンのメガネを外したところ一度も見たことがないわ。どうしよう、すごく気になってきたわ。
Oh my god, is this going to turn out to be like some sort of Clark Kent thing where we instantly recognize him as soon as we take the glasses off? The temptation was too much now that it was in my head. I took the bait splendidly.
これだけしても起きなかったのだからメガネを外しても起きないでしょうし。
I edged much closer to him as my fingers slithered up from his cheeks to the rims of his spectacles.
お願いこのまま目を覚まさないでね。
And yet, the second my hands had touched them... Oh. Good morning, sunshine. Lupin's eyelids slowly lifted.
ミス・ホワイトリー。
I want him to address me like that every morning.
ルーピン。
We shared a quiet intimacy. I could feel his breath as he whispered my name. And then...
一体何を？
Look at him, he's so flustered. His hands flew to his spectacles to hold them at such a speed that I hadn't the time to blink.
ごめんなさい。つい出来心でルーピンのメガネを外した顔を見てみたくなって。
だからっていきなり目の前に君がいたら心臓に悪いですよ。
Oh, it's bad for his heart. Oh, I gotta save this one. Oh no, I'm running out of save slots. Please help me. Help me. Oh, I got an idea. I can After this, I can go through all of these, replay them, while recording them as like MP3 files and save them in their own folder. Yeah, I can do that. I can do that. As long as I turn off the BGM beforehand, I can save them outside of the game. Okay, okay. Oh. Lupin's face was red as could be. Mine wasn't much different.
それに僕はドキンガンなので外でメガネを外すのは怖くてたまらないんです。
His voice was cracking. I love it. You can also back up your save files, probably. Oh yeah, though I don't know where they're like located. I mean the voice saves.
もし僕からメガネがなくなったら一体何が残るのかそれくらい怖いんですよ。
They're his soul.
メガネを外してもルーピンはルーピンのままだと思うけれど。
Lupin continued to plead to keep them on. As he did, I had an off feeling as if he were edging even closer to me. Even closer? Oh, come as close as you like.
ごめんなさいね。ルーピンにとってメガネがそんなに大きな存在だったなんて。
I'm saving this too. He's so close.
はい、どうかもう僕からメガネを奪わないでください。
We're being scolded. He's scolding me. He was equal parts serious in his expression and genuine in his words. I nodded.
ええ、誓うわ。だけどルーピン。
何でしょうか。
そのちょっとだけ近くないかしら。
You can come closer. Nobody is looking.
うわあ、ごめんなさい。
He just jumped back.
ルーピン、そんなに勢いよく後ろに下がったら。
開いた。
He fell to the ground with a predictable prominent smack.
ルーピン、大丈夫？
いった大丈夫です。ところでミス・ホワイトリー、僕に何か用でも。
Lupin, you're tush. That's all right. We can kiss it better.
そうだったわ。せっかくみんなでピクニックに来たから一緒にお昼にしない？
僕も一緒にですが、でも僕もう少しだけお昼寝がしたい。
Please, Lupin. Don't you want to eat our home cooking? I mean, by home cooking, I mean that Pendleton cooked it, but Pendleton is part of my home.
せっかくみんなで来ているのよ。みんなで過ごす時間は大切にしなくちゃ。ダメかしら。
Yeah? Won't you do it for us?
わかりましたから。そんな悲しげな目で僕を見ないでください。別にみんなでお昼を食べたくないわけじゃないので。
That's right. My home cooking, not my home cooking.
まあ、本当によかったわ。断られたらどうしようかと思っていたから。
僕がレディのお誘いを断るわけないじゃないですか。呼びに来てくれてありがとうございます。
ごめんなさいルーピン。私まだ他にも声をかける人がいるの。だから先に行っててもらえる？
What does this mean? He's okay? Is okay good? Like, do we need a good or great? Is okay satisfactory?
わかりました。集合場所で本を読んで待って。
わかったわ。
parted ways, and I went on to look for the next person to invite. Who shall I invite?
マープルったらまた紅茶を飲んでいるわ。
True to Marple's preparedness, she had made herself plenty comfortable on the grass and was idly sipping from her cup. She's so elegant. Think I'll... Let's be a little loving puppy. I noticed she'd not only come prepared with tea, but with some reading material as well. She had an open book atop her lap. Oh, actually this isn't a good idea, is it? Wait. No, surprising her right now would probably destroy her book. Though, actually she's pretty unflappable, so maybe she wouldn't just spill her tea like that. I really want to see Sarah a little surprised though. She appeared so distracted between the two that a rather naughty idea couldn't help but spring to mind. Oh, I'm doing all of the naughtiest things. I want to drink tea with Sarah Marple, so do I.
そういえばマープルの驚いた顔ってあまり見たことがないわ。
She sees us.
そう
I slowly but surely tiptoed up behind her.
よし
And as I was ready to pounce and give her a good scare,
何か用かしら。
Marple turned round with disturbingly apt timing.
いつもね、あなたが私の後ろからゆっくり近づいてきたあたりよ。それなら声をかけてくれてもいいのに。
The invincible Sarah Marple.
そうしてあげてもよかったんだけど、私に用があるとは限らないでしょ。もう釣れないんだから。
In the end, my plan backfired spectacularly.
何か私に用があったんでしょ。ええ、もうすぐお昼の時間よ。せっかくごめんなさい。もう少し待ってもらえるかしら。え？今とてもいいところで本の続きが気になって仕方ないの。そっか。
With that said, she fell silent and resumed reading her novel.
仕方がないわ。また後で誘ってみましょう。
Now next. What if we try to invite him again?
ルーピン、本当に眠っている
Oh my
のかし
god,
ら
do we really go through this whole scene again? We really do! Wait. What if we do the same thing again? Do we get even more points with him? There's no point. There's no point. Anyway, what's Hudson doing? I thought it would be best to find Hudson now. Since I'd been with her till not long before, I suspected she couldn't have gone far. My assumption was thankfully on the mark. I found her admiring Mr. Mackenzie's tea set.
まあ、こんな綺麗な模様のお皿初めて見るわ。先生は食器を見る目があるのね。
Hudson's eyes were sparkling with adoration. She minded if I joined in on the fun? Hudson's excitement had been particularly infectious, and her excitement at the present time was no exception. I found myself eager to join in.
ハドソン、あなたって本当に家具や食器を見るのが好きなのね。
Yeah, the Hudson leitmotif again. So full of energy.
あら、あなたも見てちょうだい。食器や家具ってキラキラ光る宝石みたいで素敵じゃない？
My smile was easy. How couldn't it be when she was so happy?
ねえハドソン、せっかくみんなで来たのだし、一緒にお昼にしない？
I'll be away briefly. I need ochazuke. Nice. Huh. Actually, something that I wondered about ochazuke is how to say this politely. Why do people like it? I mean that's just me. I like tea should be sweet and that rice should be savory. I don't like the mix of what should be sweet and what should be savory and together making something that's not exactly... It just weirds me out.
もちろんよ。私はあなたの助手ですもの。そうと決まれば早く。ごめんハトさん。まだ他にも声をかけていない人がいるから先にみんなのところに行っていて。
Hudson got an okay too.
だったら私も一緒に行くわ。そうすれば早く終わるでしょ。ハドソンには先に行ってすぐにお昼にできるように準備していてほしいの。お願い。いいわ。そういうことなら任せてちょうだい。よろしくね。
She skipped away and I returned to my task of inviting everyone else. Who shall I invite? Kobayashi.
小林くん、さっき明智さんのそばで芝生に横になっていたと思うけれど。
I surveyed the park and quickly spotted him in the exact spot he was before.
これをこうして。
小林くん、何をしているの？
おう、これは俺の発明品の一つなんだ。
本当に？
Though it was the first time I had seen him this way, I sensed he always smiled when playing with machinery. What if I were to... Oh? Yeah, let's show interest. I had to wonder about the line of invention before me, and one in particular stood out better than the rest.
ねえ小林くん、これは何？
これは万能望遠鏡だよ。ほら。
I leaned forward and peered into the end of the tube before me. At the end of the cylinder, I could see Holmes looking stern as ever.
で、こうすると。
I heard a light clicking sound, and then the scenery at the end of the tube changed. I moved the tube just slightly.
ワトソンが見えるわ。
He's looking right at us. My field of vision had been filled with the assistant's absent-minded gaze. He felt so close when looking through the telescope, but it was only upon looking away from it that I noticed how far he happened to be.
他にはどんな発明が？
これはどう？
Oh my god, my number of viewers just dropped all the way to 2. Oh my god, is it because that I said I don't like Ochazuke? Ochazuke? I'm going to stick to my principles, okay? Kobayashi presented something new, and another, and one more after that.
ありがとう。とても面白かったわ。
だろう？また今度詳しく見せてやるよ。レディーだったらいくらでもな。
ありがとう。楽しみにしているわ。それじゃまた後で。
おい、じゃあな。
I waved goodbye to him before trotting off. It hadn't taken long for it to occur to me that wasn't what I intended to do. At all.
小林くんをお昼に誘うのを忘れてたわ。
I'd gotten so caught up in all he was showing that I'd lost track of everything. Worse still, he was no longer anywhere to be seen. Hi, Tuxedoji! We got distracted, listening to Kobayashi talk about his inventions. And also, Hudson is okay, whatever that means.
私ったらまた後で小林くんを誘いに行かなくちゃ。
And next, let's do Holmes.
ホームズに声をかけてみましょう。ホームズ、あんなところにいるわ。まさか虫眼鏡で虫の観察を？
Is this part of his dislike of animals? Perhaps I should... Yeah, let's observe the master detective. He's so focused that it just wouldn't be right to disturb him. I thought it better to stand back and watch him instead. He must have noticed my standing there at some point because, to my surprise, he chose to start a conversation of his own volition.
ミス・ホワイトリー、僕に何か用か？
せっかくみんなでピクニックに来たんだから、みんなで一緒にお昼の用意をしましょう。
ああ、もうそんな時間か。
He stood up without so much as a single complaint.
虫の観察はもういいの？
ああ、それに観察している間、君にずっと付きまとわれても困るからな。
そんなことしないわよ。
それより早く行くぞ。
With no more to be said, he began walking to the gathering point. That was easy.
よし。
What?
次の人もこの調子で誘ってみよう。
Holmes is also okay. Huh. Oh, then does this mean the list of people that we're trying to convince to go to the picnic? And we need to go to them in a certain order? I then set off to see who else was hungry. Is it that sort of puzzle? That's kind of weird.
ワトさん、ホームズと一緒にいないなんて、どこに行ったのかしら。
As I continued to survey the area, I heard a rustling from above my head. I glanced upwards, expecting nothing in particular. Perhaps you need to do their routes correctly? So, I need to select the correct, things in their decision points? Except there was most certainly a particular something to be found. Watson was propped up against the tree, looking far out into the distance.
どうかしたのかしら。
Wonder if I should... I decided to call out to him.
ワトさん、そんなところで何をしてるの？
えで、
Ah! Poor boy. He must not have expected anyone to disrupt him. I can't believe I killed Watson. Why must the good die young? He lost his balance as he searched for me, slipping right out the tree in the process.
ごめんなさい、ワトさん。大丈夫？驚かせるつもりはなかったんだけど。
いや、平気平気。全然痛くないから。
He did his best to smile and convince me, but the pain won out and he couldn't help but wince with every twitch.
ところで、君、俺に用があったんだろ？
ええ。今日はせっかくみんなで来てるんだから、一緒にお昼にしないかと思って。
もうそんな時間か。よし、一緒に。
He tried to stand up but awkwardly froze in place.
どうしたの？ワトソン？
いや、腰が痛くて。
そうよね。ごめんなさい。
大丈夫。ちょっと休めば元気になると思うから。君は気にしないで。後で行くから、君は先に行ってて。
わかったわ。待っているわね。
I decided to go and speak with someone else for the time being. Yeah, let's see if we can get him to come along and be
ワトソン、
okay if we
ホー
choose
ム
a
ズと
different
一緒にい
choice.
ないなんて。
Let's watch what he's doing. I decided to watch and see what he was doing.
ワトソンはあんなところで一体。
As he was admiring the day, a tiny bird landed atop his head. Ah, Watson, you Disney princess. Then another. Before long, his head and shoulders were covered in the darlings. Animals really were charmed by him, weren't they?
もうちょっと食べるか？
He had a little something in his hands to feed them with, and they tweeted sweet nothings and thank yous as they partook.
おいおい、まだあるんだから仲良く分けて食べろって。
The birds are having their own picnic.
ワトソン、すごいわ。小鳥たちがあんなに。
Much to my dismay, him noticing me was enough to cause them all to flutter away. Picnic.
ごめんなさい。小鳥たちを驚かせちゃったみたい。
いいって。よっと。
Watson then jumped out of the tree and landed deftly on his feet.
どうしたんだ？
今日はみんなでピクニックに来てるんだし。
もしかして俺のこと呼びに来てくれたの？ありがとう。
My timing appeared to be rather apt too. Right then, Watson's stomach let out a rather uproarious growl.
お昼って聞いてなんだかすごくお腹が空いてきちゃったな。
ワトソンのお腹は正直ね。私は他の人にも声をかけてくるから先に行っててちょうだい。
So it really is a matter of the right choices.
わかった。じゃあ待ってるからな。
We parted ways and I went on to look for the next person to invite. Oh, right. Marple. Let's sit down next to her. I quietly took a seat next to Marple. With a small breeze came a delightful fragrance wafting towards me from her teacup.
明るめのオレンジ色。それにこの香りはギャル？あら、正解よ。どうしてわかったの？
I don't know what that is.
この花の香り。そして色は明るいオレンジ。まあ、ペンデルトンさん直伝の知識かしら。ええ、毎日違う紅茶を何種類も出されたりしたの。さすがお嬢様は伊達じゃないわね。それで何か私に用があったのよね。ええ、みんなでお昼にしない？せっかくみんなでピクニックに来たんだから。それなら後から行くわ。まだ紅茶が残っているし、最後まで大切に飲みたいの。
Does she have to be last, or do we try the last choice?
わかったわ。マープルは紅茶が大好きだし。悪いわね。先に行っていってちょうだい。
I left her to enjoy herself and surveyed the area for anyone else who might wish to join. Let's try again. Honey, we're back! I was about to call out to her, but a thought occurred to me.
マープルのことだから、ただ誘うだけでは断られるかもしれないわ。一番効果的な方法は。マープル、今いいかしら？あら、要件は手短にお願いするわ。クラスでせっかくピクニックに来たんだから、みんなで一緒にお昼にしない？ごめんなさい。この本は今日中に読み終えておきたいの。続きが気になっちゃうから。そう。ここまでは想定の範囲内よ。
Be attack.
でも、美味しいお菓子とお弁当も用意しているのよ。確か、メイズ・オブ・オナーもあったと思うわ。
What are maids of honor?
そう。そうなの。もう一押しね。あと、昨日インドから入った紅茶もあるの。マープルにもぜひ飲んでほしいわ。今年の。
Marple closed her book with an impressive clap and stood. A type of tart. Ooh.
そういうことなら行きましょう。新茶の香りの消えないうちにね。
I see now why Marple and Freya get along. Marple stood up and I stood next to her.
それじゃあ先に集合場所に行ってて。私は他の人にも声をかけてくるわ。そう、頑張って。私は先に行っているわ。
Oh man, the little chibies look so cute. We parted ways and I went on to look for the next person to invite.
Kobayashi君。
Yeah, so
さっき
Kobayashi, last time we
か
got
けつさんのそば
lost
で芝生に横になっていたと思うけ
speaking
れ
to him
ど。
when we asked what the inventions were about. So this time, let's be straight to the point. Curious as I was about his inventions, I thought it best to tell him why I had approached him first.
あのね、私みんなでお昼にしようと思ってお誘いに来たの。一緒にどう？
I wasn't certain why, but his initial response seemed to be bewilderment. But rather quickly he gave me a great big smile and nodded with fervor.
行く行く、当然だろ。ありがとな。
よかった。それじゃあ、あっちで準備して待ってるわ。
Aww.
ああ、 これ片付けたらすぐ行くからな。
He's such a good boy. I waved to him with a great big smile of my own before leaving.
まだ声をかけてないのは。
I'm sorry, Akechi. I just didn't want to be tempted by you.
明智さんはさっき小林くんと一緒にいたと思うけれど。
I surveyed the park and quickly spotted him still leisurely sitting along the grass. As I began to draw closer, however, Kobayashi met eyes with mine and put his finger on his lips. Oh?
ごめん。少しの間だけ明智を寝かせてやって。普段から気を張りすぎてるから無駄に疲れてるんだよ。
Oh no, that's really Moe. Oh, that's so Moe. I'm being tempted.
そうだったの。
He'd somehow managed to fall asleep sitting up, his knees hunched chest high. But even tired as he was, he still had his katana propped against his shoulder, as if he were well on his guard.
俺、この辺りを見てくるから、少し明智のそばにいてあげて。
Leaving us alone with him? Without waiting for an answer, he went and disappeared.
小林くん。行っちゃ。
Since I'm here, I think admiring his katana would be dangerous, so let's just watch. I peered at Akechi's face.
明智さん、とても疲れているのね。
What if we take off his glasses? I didn't really want to wake him up when he was sleeping so soundly, but I also thought it would be a shame to leave him out of all of the fun. As I was wondering what to do, his eyes opened, with me being the first thing he noticed.
ごきげんよう、明智さん。
ミス・ホワイトリー。
He did seem surprised, but only briefly.
何か僕に用ですか？そうやってあなたに観察されると、落ち着かないんですが。
He's so cute. And he looks a lot like Luke.
それに、とても近いように思えてならないのですが。西洋ではこの距離が普通なのですね。顔が赤いですね。熱でも。
He instantly imprinted upon her and now thinks she's his mother. Like a baby bird. Apparently intent on finding an answer, he reached out his hand and felt my cheek. Sir?
明智さん、寝ぼけて。
Can you guys just hear me gulping? Fever?
私は明智さんを呼びに来たの。
あなたが僕を？
The question was accompanied by an inquiring expression.
ええ、これからみんなでお昼にしましょう。せっかくみんなで来ているのだから、思い出を少しでもたくさん作りましょ
う。その誘い、僕に拒否権は？
I don't think so, no. The music's not louder than your speech, but I think it might be louder than your gulps. So I gotta learn to gulp louder, so you guys know the extent of how much Akechi is making me feel things.
断ってしまうの？
I hadn't expected his response. He was so blunt in his rejection, I was certain the sadness showed. I'd been so looking forward to I'd so been looking forward to eating together. I am a mess.
わかりました。行きます。なので、そんな寂しげな顔をしないでください。どうしたらいいのかわからなくなります。
What do I do? That's such a charming line to say. With some discomfort, he stood.
本当？嬉しい。でも明智さん、まだ疲れているんじゃ。
大丈夫ですよ。しっ かり休めましたから。それにここに座っていたらまたいつあなたに凝視されるか分かりませんし。
Help me.
あなたに自分の見苦しい姿なんて見られたくありませんから。
見苦しいって寝顔のこと？私はそんな風には思わないわ。それに明智さんの寝顔とても綺麗だったし。
男の僕に綺麗と言われても困りますし、そうではなくて。
Sir.
いえ、お昼を食べるのでしたね。
I was about to go with Akechi before remembering someone else I had yet to invite. Oh, that's right, I forgot about Jack.
ごめんなさい、明智さん。私、あと一人、ジャックにまだ声をかけてなかったの。これから行ってくるから、明智さんは先に集合場所に行っていて。
Is Jack always saved for last?
わかりました。あまり僕を待たせないでくださいね。
ええ、気をつけるわ、明智さん。
We parted ways and I set off to gather Jack. Everyone except Jack. Oh dear, are we going to run into a mandatory Jack cutscene? Seeing as he was the last one, I went to invite Jack. He was crouched over a distance away from everyone, arms wrapped round his ankles. I slowly approached him. I think I'll go and... Yeah, let's not startle him. I decided to call out to him.
ねえ、ジャック。そんなところで何をしてるの？ジャック？
なんか用かよ。
ええ。これからみんなでお昼にするつもりだから、ジャックも呼びに来たの。
俺はいい。弁当だって持ってきてないし。何より騒がしいのは嫌いだ。
We gotta feed this boy. He returned to his previous position as if I'd never spoken to him.
嫌になったら途中で抜けてもいいから行きましょう。
Aww, she's so patient. Feed him.
それにお弁当のことなら心配しなくて大丈夫。私たくさん用意してきたの。
いいのか。
Aww, he's baby.
もちろんよ。だから一緒に行きましょう。
おい、お前手を引っ張るな。
Then, his hand in mine, we've hurried to where the rest of our friends were waiting. Oh, that's so lewd. As we were the last to arrive and the weather was still beaming, lunch was soon to begin.
さあ、お昼にしましょう。
Yes. Oh, just look at them all. Look at Lupin's face. And look at Sarah enjoying her... Is that a maid of honor? It looks a lot like an egg tart. And Akechi is looking directly at me. And Holmes is also looking directly at me, but I don't care about him. And Jack chose to sit next to us. And just look at Lupin. One by one, I'd taken out the lunchboxes from the basket Pendleton had prepared for me.
はい、ジャック。まだまだあるから好きなだけ取って食べてね。
A typically cold response, but he didn't leave, which I considered enough of a success.
マープルには約束通りメイズオブオナー。このバスケットの中に入っているから好きなだけ食べて。
So charming.
美味しそうね。
Seemingly impressed, she happily helped herself.
マープル、私のも食べてちょうだい。ぜひ2トン持って一生懸命作ったの。あら、ありがとう。いただくわ。
Everyone is so nice to this little girl.
明智さんと小林くんもどうぞ。あ、これなんかいかが？
これってまさか卵焼き？
いや、それにしては形が僕らの知っているものとは違う気がします。
And I noticed that tamagoyaki is a lot sweeter than I'm used to too.
これはオムレツっていうのよ。卵焼きって？
卵焼きとは溶き卵を焼いていき四角い筒状に巻いた料理です。
日本じゃ卵は高級品なんだ。庶民にはめったに食べられるものじゃないんだよ。
Oh, that I didn't know.
そうだったの。
明智、オムレツ食べてみようぜ。
落ち着きなさい小林。焦らなくても卵は逃げたりしません。
いただきます。
いただきます。
What is it, Tuxedoji?
どうかしら。
ふわふわしててうまい。前にもらったカスタードタルトもうまかったし。
そうですね。味付けも濃すぎず薄すぎず添えてあるこちらのソースともよく合っています。
Pendleton's cooking had found itself 2 more fans. Good for you, Pendleton.
お口に合ってよかったわ。他の料理もたくさんあるから好きなだけ食べてね。
About the eggs in the Bakumatsu Meiji period? Oh, did you know that before? That's super news to me. I hadn't expected it since, I guess I just never thought about it very much.
さすがにこの量は多い気がするよ。
出されたものは残さず食べるのが礼儀ですよ小林。
Look at him. He's just grumpily eating a sandwich. Jack, meanwhile, had been nibbling his way through a bacon, lettuce, and tomato sandwich. A BLT.
よかったわ。ジャックもちゃんと。
Lupin, who was sitting opposite of me, had taken to sighing whilst opening and closing his lunchbox. Lupin?
ルーピン、あなたお弁当は食べないの？
いえ、食べます。食べますけど。
I didn't know it. I assumed eggs would be a common staple or even poor people food, given how little chickens got slaughtered for meat. Yeah, me too. Like, chickens are pretty low maintenance as far as farm animals go, right? Like, if you let them out to the pasture, they can generally feed themselves. Or, well, I guess getting them to lay quality eggs would be difficult, but eggs in general, they just sort of do that? Am I wrong? Because, again, I don't really know much about animal husbandry.
ルーピン、もったいつけてどうしたんだ？
Watson made to peer at what was inside.
はあ、ダメですよ、ワトソン君。
I gotta save this zoom in too.
そうやって隠されるとますます気になるんだよな。探偵の飽くなき探求心がかきたてられるっていうか。
君の場合、単純に食べ物が気になるだけだろう、ワトソン君。
何言ってるんだよ、ホームズ。そんなことあるに決まってるだろ。
What's wrong, Lupin? Oh, did your mom or your dad make you your lunch and it looks super embarrassing? Did they write something in ketchup that says, "I'm proud of you, son," or something like that?
あるんですか？
あ、
Watson, quick to ignore protest and eager to discover its contents, leaned over to take the lunchbox.
ルーピン、お前、これは。
Oh? His face. Upon peeking inside, Watson looked as though he were trying to restrain himself from a reaction of some kind.
ああ、これは詰まっているな、いろいろ。
おお、すげえな、これ。
I want to see too.
僕は何も見ていません。
どうしたの？
I want to see.
だから見られたくなかったんですよ。それなのに、ひどい。
He's crying.
ごめん悪かったって。それにしてもこれは一体誰が。
父さんが。
His dad is the family cook and he made him an embarrassing lunch.
まあ、すごいお父様ね。
He's an artist?
そうか。それは辛かったな。
まあ頑張るよ。
Tuxedoji? Is keep your pecker up an actual saying? Have I been using the word pecker wrong all this time?
これはさすがにちょっと。
もう限界だって。
I think he means pecker like mouth, but stiff upper lip style. Ah. So is that the usual meaning of pecker?
やめろよワトさん。俺必死にこらえて。
Watson and Kobayashi were clutching their sides in laughter, and everyone else had presented Lupin with their most supportive tears and pouts. Curiosity piqued, I thought to finally see for myself. It's a use, in the same way puss can mean the mouth. Ah!
ハート型のケジャリーにルーピンって書いてあるわ。
Oh my god. Lupin, I promise that when we're married, I'll make you a boxed lunch like this every day. Lupin himself was colored red with embarrassment, but I was rather colored impressed.
このままこんな日がいつまでも続けばいいのに。
My quiet whisper disappeared with the wind, heard by and reaching no one. We went our separate ways after a very satisfying lunch. The sky, however, saw fit to dull in color rapidly once we were finished. A deep and active gray stirred up above.
皆さん、霧が出てきたので、今日は荷物を片付けて解散にしましょう。
Just raise them flags for the final few chapters, eh, Miss Whiteley? I guess this means we're reaching the end of the common route? Everyone went to do as instructed.
私も急いで片付けなくちゃ。
君一人じゃ大変だろ。片付け手伝うよ。
Nah, we'd prefer if Lupin helped.
ワトさん、ありがとう。
いや、君のお弁当結構たくさんごちそうになったからな。これくらい当然だよ。
He then set about skillfully packing everything away.
そういえば、今日のお弁当に入ってたスコッチエッグって。
どうしてわかったの？
Oh, did it taste worse than everything else?
なんていうか、君らしい味だったから。
まさか美味しくなかった？
そんなこともないよ。とっても美味しかったって。俺の好きな味だった。
I remember that the Scotch egg was actually invented in London in 1851 by a company called Fortnum and Masons. We swirled it, just stuck in my mind forever.
本当に？
ああ、毎日食べたいくらいだよ。
どうもありがとう。そんな風に言ってくれるなんて嬉しいわ。
It was worth making them for the compliment alone. I was warm with happiness.
それに、君ってお嬢様なのに、そういうことにもトライするんだなって思ってさ。
せっかくのピクニックだもの。何か挑戦したくて。
でも、何かに挑むのって大切だよな。すごく勇気がいるけどさ。
Watson, try as he might, just can't get that flag to stay up any more than Lupin's pecker.
そうね。少し緊張しちゃったけれど、とても勉強になったわ。 次はもっともっと美味しく作れるように頑張らなきゃ。
じゃあその時はまた俺にも食べさせてくれないか？君の手作りなら何度だって食べたい。
ええ、わかったわ。その時は上達したかどうかちゃんと教えてね。
Oh geez, I hope that this doesn't mean that we're on Watson's route or anything. I was trying to balance between him and Holmes, but did I accidentally tip towards Watson? Because those two were the first to be introduced, so they're the easiest to get affection points for.
あ、もちろん。
We continued to pack everything away as quickly as we could.
さっきよりも霧が出てきたな。
ええ、これ以上霧が濃くなる前にみんなのいる場所へ急がないと。
Panicking slightly, I picked up the baskets and began to walk. But a strange thing happened as I did. All of a sudden, I couldn't spot Watson anymore.
ワトさん、どこなの？
No matter which direction I turned, he was nowhere to be seen. I wasn't fond of being alone like this. I could feel an inexpressible sense of nervousness well up within myself.
ワトさん、ちょっと待って。
どこだ？
I could hear him calling me from far away. Instinctively, I started running in the direction of his voice. It wasn't long before I could finally faintly see what appeared to be a human figure. That's not Watson.
見つけたわ。ワトさん、待って。
The figure showed no signs of responding. Perhaps he couldn't hear me? I tried to run closer, but against my efforts, this figure slipped farther and farther away. Is stream still going? Hi, Biblio! Hello! That's right! We just had a nice picnic with our friends, and now we're following this mysterious figure in the fog. My apprehension grew stronger, but standing in place would do nothing. I decided to continue following it. After following it for a time, I'd arrived at a crossroad. No matter which direction I looked, however, the silhouette wasn't anywhere to be seen.
どっちに行ったのかしら。
One path led into a back alley from where I could hear voices. The other led to an upward slope, from where there was the clap of footsteps. Well, let's definitely not go into the back alley. I think I ought to take the slope. I'm not ready to die.
足音がするってことは誰かしらいるはず。
Taking special notice not to trip on the sloped ground, I started walking once again. It wasn't long before the footsteps came to a halt. I found the location odd, and I narrowed my eyes for visibility's sake to peer farther into the fog. With some success, thankfully. I could, albeit faintly, make out a single individual. Thank you for the raid, Viv! Thank you so much! Oh man, welcome, raiders! We're playing London Detective Mysteria, and we've just finished having a nice picnic with our friends. And we're diving into the fog to see what we can find. We had the choice to go up this slope to the footsteps or into a back alley. And since we're a young noble lady, we're definitely not going to a back alley. Konban Viv. Yeah. Today was your drawing stream, right? Did you have fun, son? What's up, Freya? It's a nerd raid. Hi, Bad Luck Coon. Yeah. Welcome home. Would you like dinner? A bath? Hi, Satanic Papillon. I always enjoy drawing, usually enjoy drawing. So you did enjoy drawing? Nice. Were I to let them scurry off again, my only option would be to stay here alone and wait for the fog to clear, I imagine.
置いていかれないようにしなくちゃ。
I didn't have to draw Lace today, so it was a good day. Good. Oh man, Lace. Oh, thank you so much for the follow! Thank you! The figure then sprinted, after which I then took up my skirt and followed them.
ここは
We wandered into the back alleys anyway.
やっぱりあの時動くべきじゃなかったのかしら。
Good job, me.
もう誰の姿も見えないし。
Pick all the above and secret choice for a hug. Very close by, I could hear two men having a discussion.
わかったな。
think it's you're late and you... I sure hope no 5-star assassins are lurking.
誰なの？一体何を？
Murder on a misty night. I tried to get a good look at what was going on from the shadows of the alley. It wasn't the clearest picture, but I could make out 2 men.
約束のものはこれだ。現物をレバ。
一体何の話をしているの？
I was hiding enough of a distance away from the men that I could only hear parts of their conversation. I desperately strained my ears in hope of making out more. Freya? Freya, your self-preservation. One of the men took something out of a wooden box at his feet.
こんな霧の中で何をやりとりしているの？
おい、私の目をやめろ。
Huh?
モラン大佐。
Moran? Wait, that's one of Moriarty's men, isn't it? Or am I getting mixed up?
なんだ。
Tension thick as the fog was stilted momentarily by the sound of someone calling out to a man in a military uniform.
どうしよう。もしかして闇取引？
The only way I can crack this case is if I get kidnapped. Yeah, that sounds like something she would do.
このままここにいたら危険だわ。早くこの場を離れなきゃ。
And yeah, Moran is the bulky guy from the other Holmes show. Oh ho ho! Ho 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 ho! Something was very wrong here. I wanted to wash myself of this before things grew worse, but an underlying fear rooted me to the spot.
でもこのまま見過ごしてしまってもいいの？
I hesitated. Then the air had been punctured by the shriek of a bullet. It was so unexpected that my foot hit a wooden crate on the ground next to me. I wasn't in their sights, but the noise made was much too loud for it not to catch their attention. Oh ho ho. We're in danger!
誰だ。
いけない。どうしよう。
Freya, move!
姿を見せないならば、こちらから向かうまでだ。
Oh man, his voice is really good though. This voice is really good, but does it belong to a handsome guy? No, even if it does, we wouldn't be able to get onto his route. But I want to see him. Each step moved closer and closer to me. With any luck, he won't be too hot. And that's all we can hope for. The fog would make finding me a trying task, but that didn't make it impossible. I couldn't hide from him forever.
どうしよう。
I took a rigid, deep breath to control my nerves.
静かに騒がないで。
Oh! Who's this?
大丈夫です。もう少しのご辛抱を。
Oh? My breath was held as someone approached me from behind and placed their hand over my mouth. Moments later, I heard what must have been a pebble rolling in from a completely different direction.
逃げたか。
Oh. Oh, he is hot. I don't think he's my type, though. I mean, I do like the light hair, and I am a sucker for thin eyes like that. Ah, just a second, camera got jostled. Face feels a bit too cold for me? Ah, but the coldness is part of the appeal, Vivlio. I prefer kind faces? Ah, yeah, that's valid. Yeah, I think in general, I think that it's just his hairstyle that's not speaking out to me. I like wavy hair like that, but the center part, maybe doesn't work well with his type of face in this circumstance. I'm digging the gloves, though. He followed the sound of the pebble, his footsteps becoming quieter and quieter. Danger now less so, I began to think of how the gloves I felt and the voice behind me were familiar. Ah, the camera jiggled loose again. Hang on. Ah! Bye! Okay. Mouse test passed. Okay.
大きい音を立てないで。まだそう遠くには行っていないはずです。
I nodded to indicate that I understood.
ペンデルトン、どうしてここが。
Pendleton.
話は後です。今はここから離れることが先決でしょ。
わかったわ。
I was more than willing to let Pendleton lead the way. Even after plenty of time had passed, the fog stubbornly continued to hang over London's streets. A heavy air hanged above the two of us as well. 1,000 times hotter than some moron.
ペンデルトン、絶対に怒っているわ。
Not a word had been said since we left the site of our meeting. It was only once we'd come to the main road that Pendleton finally spoke.
ここまで来れば大丈夫でしょう。
I braced myself for the incoming lecture, but no such lecture arrived. Instead, I heard the sound of someone I knew crying out from far away. Watson! Fun fact, moron is Welsh or carrot? Oh, really? Huh.
よかった。こんなところにいたのか。
It's okay, we're safe thanks to Pendleton, who is not a love interest.
ワトソン。
ごめんな。大丈夫だったか？
He rushed over and gave me a powerful embrace. I could feel his shoulders shaking. That was all I needed to know about how worried he had been.
ごめんなさい、ワトソン。あなたに心配をかけて。私。
なんで謝るんだよ。怖かっただろ。
ええ。とても。
I'm really hoping I'm not on the Watson route.
ワトソン君、馬車で家までお送りいたします。
The three of us climbed into the carriage and set off for Baker Street. Pendleton's sigh was the first thing to break yet another lengthy silence.
お嬢様、今日はあえて苦言を申し上げます。いい加減、自ら危険に首を突っ込む癖を控えてください。
He's right though.
ペンデルトンさん。俺が霧の中で彼女を一人にしたのがいけなかったんだ。
Watson.
だからあまり彼女を責めないでください。彼女が怖い思いをしたのには。
ワトソン、でも私が悪いの。心細いからってその場を不用心に動いてしまったんだもの。
でも
それと一つ気になることがあるの。モラン大佐という。
モラン大佐？
お嬢様、その名をどこで？
Pendleton's expression changed upon its mention.
さっき霧の中でそう呼ばれていた人がいたの。
その名前の人物は過去に逮捕されて無期懲役を言い渡されたはずです。
Oh, he broke out?
でも実際に私ははっきりと聞いたわ。
無期懲役ということはまさか脱獄でも？いい
え、彼は今もロンドン島に収監されているはず。お嬢様のお聞き間違いでは。
Could that have been a mere illusion in the fog? The more I tried to follow that line of thought, the more fear wrangled me. At a certain point, I could only shake my head to rid myself of anything more. A part of me knew that would do little to help. I could feel a mist beginning to settle over my heart, one that seemed even less likely to clear than that of London's fog. Oh, that was unexpected. So?
夢中のベーカー街
Fog over Baker Street. Is it another Hyde chapter then? Not Hyde. What am I thinking? Is this another Jack chapter then? This doesn't... I'm not sure if this is Watson's route or not, but I'm going to save anyway. Is this Watson? I think that I'll call it over here for today. Unless you guys wouldn't mind watching me skip over the 10 chapters we played through so far to see if maybe I gathered too many Watson points. Would you guys like to see that? Or I guess just for transparency's sake, maybe I should do that anyway. Yes? All right. Let's do it. Let's skip through everything.
女王陛下のご紹介で
I'm alright. I know this already. Hang on. What was the... Long hair? Tightly worn tie. So witness B is lying in this case, I think. Oh, wait. I ran out of time.
お嬢様のおっしゃる通りです。
Oh! Thank you for the fitness, Vivlio. Just a second. All right. Just a second while I pick up my weights. All right, so that's 4 fitnesses, that's 40 bicep curls, so that's 20 on each arm. I'll start skipping first. What? Hang on. I forgot.
お嬢様、探偵には瞬時の判断力が必要とされます。
I got these right my first time around, so...
お嬢様お見事です。
Okay. What? I forgot what I picked for this one.
そうですか。お嬢様はお優しい上に責任感がありますから、迷われるのも仕方ないのかもしれませんね。お嬢様は目の前の困ったものを助けようとされるのですね。そのですが、お嬢様が子供に与えたお金、それは本来別の誰かの命を救うはずのものだったかもしれない。目の前の人物を助ける代償、感情で動く前にそれをよくお考えくださいね。では次が最後の質問です。よろしいでしょうか。
I'll be ready after these 40 bicep curls, Pendleton. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. All right, that makes 40. Last question. I'd flee the country with him. The first time we met Lupin. Alright, let's alternate between Holmes and Watson. Holmes in this one.
ミス・ホワイトリー、君は下がっていたまえ。邪魔だ。
ありがとう。
Oh man, this is longer than I remembered. I guess that's just what comes with only playing a chapter a week. Alright, and this is the part where we get kidnapped for a weekend. Spending the night with a boy. And then Watson in this one.
ホームズ、ワトソンの言う通り、みんな怖がっているし、ほどほどにした方がいいと思うわ。いきなりこういう資料を目にしたら、
I forgot why
誰だっ
Holmes
て
brought
びっ
pictures
く
of
りして
corpses
しま
to
う
the
と思うの。
classroom.
彼女の言う通りだぞ、ホームズ。お前はもう少し周りに対する気遣いってものを持たない。
そんなことでは実際の現場でうろたえるだけだぞ。
俺やホームズはまだ慣れてるからいいにしても。っていうか、君はこういう写真大丈夫なのか？
私は大丈夫。それに探偵になるには避けては通れない道だと思うから。
I mean, you don't have to be a murder detective.
君ってすごく努力家なんだな。でも無理はするなよ。こういうのって初めて見た後、たまに夢にまで出てくるから。
So this is Marple's chapter. The poisoning time. You love them. Etc. Poisoning, cyanide. And then Holmes.
ホームズに意見を聞いてみたいの。あの資料を持ってきたのはホームズだったし、それに客観的な意見が聞けそうだわ。
はい、どちら様。何をし
Oh,
に来たん
thank
だ
you
君
so
た
much
ち。
for the sip, Bad Luck Kun. All refreshed from all the voice acting.
こんにちは、ホームズ。実は聞きたいことがあって、マープルに連れてきてもらったんだけど。
それは今でないとダメなのか？別に学園でも構わないだろう。
お願い、ホームズ。どうしても解決したい事件があって。
For a short time, Holmes eyed myself and marbled back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth.
それで要件は何だ？痙攣、嘔吐、意識の混濁。
これらのことが一度に起きる病気って。
そうだな。結論的に言えば僕が知っている限りではない。アダムス・ストークス症候群というのが一番似ている。だが似ているというだけでそのものではない。
Adam Stokes.
しかも嘔吐は条件に含まれていない。これが条件に含まれるとなるとかなり難しいな。外傷は
特になかったわ。
なるほど。
Holmes paced around the room, one hand stroking his chin in deep thought.
その症状はどちらかといえば薬物中毒の方が近いな。
That's because it is.
毒物ならいくつか当てはまる。例えばアンズ、毒ゼリ、マチン、トリカブト、毒人参。このあたりが似ているか。
ねえ、 もしなんだけど、
知識と技量があれば簡単だろう。特に薬物に詳しければな。
それ漢方だったラベルに。ありがとうホームズ。今度お礼にお菓子を持ってくるわ。
結構だ。僕は君と違って菓子類にそもそも興味が。
He says he has no interest, but the heart says otherwise.
行きましょうマープル。それじゃあホームズ。
なんだ、ミス・ホワイトリー。また来た。
今日彼女来てたんだ。なんで教えてくれなかったんだよ。
教えたところでどうするんだ。それで要件は何だ。
ごめんなさい、何度もお邪魔して。
Dropping out of school and going to another one where she won't do poisoning. And I still don't know what the point of these are. What did we do before? And this is the one where we meet Jack. Surely unrelated to our classmate named Jack. I'm sure he's never ripped a person in his life. Oh. Wait, who did I get hearts for? Are you sure he didn't rip a Beyblade in his life? I mean, maybe he traveled back in time and ripped a Beyblade? We went with Holmes last time, so, Watson? No, this is Holmes again.
とても興味があるわ。今は様子見だわ。
Watson. And the next time we go, Holmes again.
周囲の人とコミュニケーションを取ることは社会ではとても大切よ。
I was nice to Jack last time since I figured I wouldn't accidentally amass enough points with him, but just in case I'm gonna be rude to him this time.
ジャックはあまりクラスのみんなと話していないみたいだから、友達をもっと作るためにも。
余計な世話だ。別に俺は友達作る気なんてないし。
それはすごくもったいないことをしていると思うわ。
I looked up the guide so I can say it's definitely achievable. What's achievable? Lupin chapter! Lupin chapter! Lupin! It is Lupin time! Oh, I love him. Yeah, there he is. And we gotta inspect both of these.
他に調べる場所。
Lupin. Oh, how I love Lupin. He's so clever. He's such a good actor. He has such a good voice. Here he comes. Yeah, he planned this. Yes. Close our eyes and have our first kiss.
日記を書こうかしら。
すまないな諸君。オディールの瞳のネックレス、確かにこのジャン・ルパン、
Yeah, maybe it's
そ
that
う
I should have
怪
wrote
盗
about
ル
him
パ
in
ンが
my
いただいた
diary
よ。
to just record him into my heart.
お怪我はありませんか、お姫様。こんなに綺麗な月夜なんだ。二人だけのこの時間をもうちょっとだけ楽しもうね。
This is what Otome games are all about.
Today 今日は少し疲れたし。
Alright, and which chapter is this one? The church. Oh. Oh, this is different. Why is it different?
ありがとう、ホームズ。
Ah,
今
it's because
度お
I
礼に
made
お
the
菓子
promise
を
to
持ってく
Holmes
るわ。
instead of Watson. Alright, and at the next point I need a Holmes point instead of a Watson point. Oh, this is the Watson chapter. Ah yes, the poisoning. The poisoning again. Whoops, accident went there already. It's okay, we'll just go through the same conversation again. The poisoning, huh? One of the poisonings. The poison for the nice old lady. That poison. The poisoned wallpaper. And the poisoned food. Just a lot of poison. Ah, the old lady's poisoned. The poison for the old lady. That poison. The poison specifically for old ladies. Pendleton with a gun! If you haven't watched my previous parts, and this is interesting to you, I highly recommend getting the game. And Akechi's chapter. Pendle gun. I am distraught this didn't get a sequel. Yeah, I want a part 2 with Lupin. A part 2 with Lupin. I want to explore my married life with him. Like, at least give us a fan disc. And then everyone's portraits. Make the sequel yourself. I'm very tempted to. I mean, I don't know how to extract all of the portraits, though. If they don't make it, make your own fanfic. Oh, you know I'm going to do that. Alright, and this one is... I love her. You'll have to make your own portraits for them. VTuber rigged. I mean, they do use Live 2D for visual novels, and I think that was the original purpose of it. I'm not sure who first decided to combine those with webcams. I know that FaceRig at least did that with Live 2D back in 2015? There are even some Ultimate games with Live 2D. I think that the first one that I played was 2 out of 2 Lover. It's about this person who lives with you, and in the day he's an angel, but at night he's a devil because they shared bodies. Gacha games often use Live 2D portraits for costumes, yeah. And that's why I think that I deserve to be in a gacha game. Would you guys roll for me? I like to think I would be at least a 2-star. Fukunaga-san, I'd wail for you. You're so kind, Tuxedoji. Are you a berserker class? You know it! I'm the world's greatest Viking. I would go bankrupt for you. Thank you! And this is where we'd started today. Let's not talk to Jack. Let them go. Classified documents. And then to Lupin. I love him. Oh, he's so sweet. Let's go Lupin first, just because. And then we can go whatever. Yeah, we're all okay. Oh, whoops. He's up in that tree again, he sure is.
明智さん、私これから他の人にも声をかけてくるから先に行っていて。
わかりました。
また後でね。そういえばまだジャックに声をかけていなかったわ。
So Jack is always last. No hand-holding. Huh. So this time we're on Marple's route? Why? I want Lupin to help. I want Lupin.
あらマープル、これぐらい私一人で大丈夫よ。遠慮はいらないわ。ほら、貸して。
But I love her too, but I want Lupin. Please, accept Marple's love, but... But I need Lupin. I need Lupin. Where did I go wrong? Hi. どうして? どうして? Freya may have to cheat with the guide. Why, I'm usually a master of otome games. I got all of his available hearts. Maybe he's the hardest to unlock? This doesn't seem like the type where you need to unlock roots, though. Like, shouldn't this be the type where you're allowed to pick anybody right off the bat? I'm starting from the beginning again. I'm starting all over again. I'm gonna get him. Oh, you can skip to the next decision point with this. Don't need to repeat yourself, I'm just skipping over it anyway. It was number 2. It was A, I think?
お嬢様お見事です。正解。
What?
お見事ですお嬢様。
I'm gonna give it to the kid.
お嬢様は
Because I am not
目の
lawful.
前の困ったものを。
And I'd flee the country with Lupin
なるほど。
anywhere. What if we start with Watson like we did before? And then go home.
あまり気持ちのいいものではないと思う。
Lupin.
それより、あなたは大丈夫なの？むしろあなたの方が痛そうだけれど。
And then let's go with Watson again.
ワトソンと話がしてみたいの。
And maybe we sleep here?
今日は少し疲れたし。
Because this should have been the chapter where we were introduced to Sarah. So if we sleep here and don't record her into our hearts, maybe we got into her route because we wrote about her in our diary too? Looking a bit thirsty, take a sip. Thank you, Vivlio. Big sippy. Alright, I gotta relax. And then the last time we went with Watson, so okay, good, this is Holmes.
とても興味があるわ。
面白い。女性だけが狙われる貧民街の連続殺人だぞ。
でもこれ以上連続殺人の被害者が増える前に犯人を探し出せれば新たな被害者を出さずに済むでしょ。
Freya is not smart.
正論だな。ま、君にそんな実力があればの話だが。
俺は反対だな。君には悪いけど、君が対峙するにはこの事件は危険すぎるよ。おい、ホームズ、そろそろ行かないと。
Imagine being smart. Couldn't be me. Be rude to
周囲の
Jack.
人とコミュニケーションを取ることは。
And then don't record him in our
今
memories.
日は少し疲れたし。
Though I wonder if we'll run into
もう見ようかしら。
consequences for not collecting the evidence we otherwise would have. We all baka.
悪い人を懲らしめるためにしているなら。
I didn't want to skip over this. Ah, whoops.
日記を書こうかしら。
Oh, wait, yes. Yes, I meant to record this because this is recording our kiss with Lupin. With our kiss with Lupin.
調理場を見せてもらっても？
Da-da-da. Ah, catchy.
今日は少し疲れたし、もう。あ、それは。もし、死体が伝ごめんよ。レディに怖い思いをさせて。
The stolen plate. Someone close.
意外に身近な人物じゃないかし
And then interview
カーティ
all
ス
of
さんの部屋
them.
に行ってみましょう。食器集めが趣味だという。
The most suspicious is Mr. Howard. This time he didn't do a poisoning. Let's go to sleep.
今日は少し疲れたし、もう。
This playthrough is Freya sleeps a lot. Let them go. Classify documents. Lupin!
ルーピンのメッセージを解いてみましょう。
Marie
マリー・アン
Antoinette.
トワネットの暗号かしら。
What if we save Lupin for last?
ホームズに声をかけてみましょう。
Oh, whoops.
ねえ、ホームズ。せっかくの課外授業なんだから、みんなで一緒に。
悪いが、今昆虫の観察で忙しい。
Of course it wouldn't be
他は
that
立って
easy.
くれたまえ。僕は虫の観察が好きなんだ。動物と違って彼らは僕から逃げるようなことはない。
その、つまり。
余計な世話だ、ミス・ホワイトリー。
ええ、だからお昼の用意に誘おうと思って。
今僕は研究に集中しているんだ。
Wow, and he said he was direct. Yep.
ホームズ、
Let's use the skip function. Watch what he's doing. Watson, just watch. Watson. Sarah is calling out. And let's go Kobayashi. Akechi. Lupin. I love him.
ごめんなさいルーピン。あと一人、ジャックにも声をかけてこなきゃいけないの。だから先に行ってて。
わかりました。先に行って待ってます。
Good boy.
また後でね。
Wait, this is Watson again. Why is it Watson again? Why? Uh,
お嬢
さ
そ
でも
のいいえお嬢
Maybe this is a scripted Watson? But it doesn't feel scripted.
夢中のベーカー街
Yeah, because in my headphones it's Holmes in one ear and Watson in the other. And if it's split at the picnic area, then instead of Watson over there, you saw how it changed to Sarah, right? So that normally shows who you have the most affection with? That's usually what that means? If this is still the common route, I'm going to feel very silly. You check the guide and know that I'm not on Lupin route. Biblia, help me. Help me. Help. I just want this handsome man. I'm gonna cry. Biblio, please. Or actually, what if I pull up the guide on my own phone? I swear I'm not usually this bad at otome games. I'm a master at capturing hearts. Okay. By private, do you mean Twitter or Discord? Discord? Okay. It's unfair. It's not fair. Okay. Okay. I am opening this up. Okay. Let's start from the top, everybody. His route is very specific. Nothing wrong with getting some help to claim your Ikemen, man. Yeah. Sometimes you just need a little help from your friends. Yep, I'm alright, Pendleton. Just lay it on me, Pendleton. It's just my 4th time.
お嬢様お見事です。
Yeah.
お見事ですお嬢様。
Give it to the child.
お嬢様は目の前の
Flee the flee the country.
なるほど。お嬢様は愛
No commentary, only focus. I love him. I need him.
ホームズに意見を聞いてみたいの。
Look, once I have my sights set on something, I'm not gonna stop until I get it.
今日は少し疲れたし。
As long as it's related to
もう寝ようか
fiction.
しら。
I would not be this pushy when it comes to a real person. But please believe me.
私
I respect people's boundaries. But video game characters have no rights. Video game characters have no free will.
「悪い人を懲らしめるためにしているの」 でも
My eyes closed.
1
Yeah. Okay. That'll be one eternal soul as payment. Put it on my tab. Write in my diary about this. Kitchen, study,
ご主人の書斎を見せてもらっても？
stable.
飼育小屋を見せてください。
Wait, really? I gotta say that? Why? Okay. What? The results wouldn't be very accurate?
それじゃあ正確な実験結果が出せなくなるわ。ええ、鑑定した死体の力、高濃度のカフェインやタンニンが検出されたら、そうね。
Let's play with mod powers today? Oh no. Thank you, Biblio.
それはともかく、ワトソンが掃除や洗濯をしているとも思えないわ。ごめんよ、レディ。
Stolen plate is false.
盗まれたお皿は偽物だわ。
And then someone close to Hudson. Visit all of them. Yeah, I think it's faster to skip after all instead of using the skip button. I mean, faster to use the dash to next decision. Alright. Someone else. Mr. Howard. Come on. Go to sleep. Huh? Really?
ねえ、ジャック。
Why?
この暗号に心当たりはない？
さあな。
でも、あなたも暗号を移したんでしょ？
知るかよ。俺は念のために。
つまり、念のために分かった方がいいと思った。ジャック、あなたも一緒に来てくれないかしら？
俺には関係ないだろ。めんどくせえ。
そう。
And then I call out to them?
待って、明智さん。
I don't just ignore who I'm not pursuing?
もし暗号が解読できたら、二人にも何とか教えたいの。
でも、もしこれが事件だったら、不用意に教室に書き置きなんて残せないよな。誰に見られるかわからないし。
確かに。
では、その時はこの秘密箱の中に伝言を入れてください。
Akechi, why do you just have a puzzle box? Why do you just have that?
綺麗な箱ね。
Chad has decided I'm thirsty. Thank you for the sip. Pursue love, yeah.
これは僕の国で愛用されている秘密を守る木の小箱です。細工箱、あるいはからくり箱とも呼ばれます。
明智、日本からわざわざ持ってきてたんだな。
当然です。これを開けるためには特定の手順があります。それを知らなければ容易に開けることはできません。
That sounds cool.
ミス・ホワイトリー、あなたの力量を信じてこの箱の開け方を教えます。
ええ、任せてちょうだい。
では、いいですか。一度しか教えないのでよく聞いてください。まず左の板を下へ。
I'm not gonna make notes.
次に上の板を左へ、それから右の板を下へ、最後に上の板を右へ。これで開きます。
お分かりいただけましたか？
I have a log.
手順を一箇所でも間違えたら開かないからな。無理に動かすと壊れちゃうし。
I mean, if the box breaks, then that will be good for whoever's trying to get whatever's inside it. Bash it with the log.
そうで
Yeah.
す。なので慎重に扱ってください。
でもすごいわね。日本では鍵や暗号の代わりにこんなシンプルな方法で情報を守ることができるのね。
これは単純な4回仕掛けですが、複雑なものは72回仕掛けもあります。
まあ、そんなに？
これも日本の匠のなせる技です。ちなみに匠とは優れた技術を持つ職人のことですよ。
なるほど。これは日本の職人さんの技術の結晶なのね。それじゃあこの秘密箱は大切にお預かりするわね。
This is easily one of the greatest localizations I've ever seen. Yeah, it really is. Oh, I noticed the localizer on Twitter, so I'm following her. Or I think it's her. Is it them? I'm not sure. Anyway, I think that they made a couple of notes about the localization decisions that they made, so I can drop you a link to that.
明智さんと小林くんもどうか気をつけてね。私たちも暗号を解読できるように頑張るわ。
Classified documents. Lupin. I love him.
それ大丈夫かな？先生は暗号でメッセージを残したんだ。もし不用意に他の人に読まれたら。
確かにそうね。そうだわ。こんな時こそ秘密箱を使いましょう。メモを
This feels like an Akechi route.
先生の暗号が解けたので正解を入れておきます。これでいいわ。これを箱の中に入れて。
Oh my god, will we have to remember what we had to do for the box? Gonna quick save. Think it was left first.
左の板を下へ。
Okay.
よし。下の板を右へ。
Nope, that wasn't it.
あら。上の板を左へ。右の板を下へ。
Okay.
上の板をやった！開いたわ。
Are we sure these are the right steps? This feels a lot like an Akechi route.
この中に手紙を入れて。明智さん、小林くん、これを見つけたらすぐに来てね。学校へ戻って箱を確かめます。
Now, this definitely feels like an Akechi route. So maybe I'll mess up with the box.
上の板を。どうしよう。わからなくなってしまったわ。
ミス・ホワイトリー、何をしているんだ。早く来たまえ。
ごめんなさい。今行くわ。ごめんなさい、明智さん。
We lost points with him. Yeah, because I really don't want to risk it. And the walkthrough doesn't say
ホーム
anything
ズに
about it.
声をかけてみましょう。
Watch what he's doing. Watson, watch what he's doing. Lupin. How I love him. Please. I want Lupin. I call out to him, and then I need to go to the back alley.
遠慮はいら
It's
ないわ。
Marple!
ほら、貸して。
I'm going to trust you, Biblio. I'm going to trust that you're leading me on the right path. Marple went right to work picking up everything near to me with practice efficiency.
霧が出てきたわね。ええ、これ以上、霧が濃くなる前に、みんなのいる馬車へ急がないと。
As I'd started panicking, I hastily retrieved all the baskets and stood. Then, as I turned to where Marple should have been standing next to me, it did say to skip it at the gathering, but I didn't have a skip it option. I saw nothing except a wall of dense fog. I wasn't fond of being alone like this. I could feel an inexpressible sense of nervousness well within myself.
マープル、どこにいるの？
I made to move in a panic before being stopped.
大丈夫。私はここよ。
Oh, that's really Doki. I felt her gently take my hand. Seeing her smile, all that nervousness that had been building was gone in an instant.
もう、怖かったわ。霧の中で、はぐれたかと思った。あなたったら、怖がりね。だって実は私も少し怖かったの。ここでしばらく、霧が晴れるまで待ちましょう。
Sarah is fine too, I guess. Marple being next to me was a great comfort, and together we waited for the fog to clear. No! No! Okay, so that's definitely a root split. No, I heard Marple's voice there. That was Marple's voice announcing the title. That's a different chapter name from The Fog Over Baker Street. That was a root split, and I'm on Marple's this time. I want a cup of tea, so do I, Tuxedoji. Once more! Why can't I skip it? It's so long. Or no. You're just gonna start from the beginning again. Come on, let me open the menu. Menu. I think it was definitely the gathering or the puzzle box that decided the mayhaps. I'm Googling it. This is so unfair. I'm Googling it myself. Please, Lupin. Lupin, I love you. I love you. Hey, walk through John Lupin. It says that his route has a prerequisite. You need to complete Holmes, Watson's, or Akechi's route first. He's called Lupin because we're looping till we get it. Oof. Big oof. So, let's go with Akechi.
上の板を右。やった開いたわ。
Akechi. Well, that means we get an extra week or so out of this wonderful game. Yeah, maybe. I saw no sign of Akechi or Kobayashi once I returned, but there was one thing that had changed.
あら、この秘密箱、確か明智さんの席に入れたはずなのに。
When I was with my memory, however, I found it in my own. I opened up the box the same way I had earlier, thinking its appearance somewhat peculiar.
手紙だわ。きっと明智さんからね。すごく丁寧で綺麗な。
ミス・ホワイトリー、あなたの箱を受け取りました。開け方を覚えてくださり幸いです。行き違いの可能性があるため伝言を残します。
メッセージを残してくれるなんて律儀な明智さんらしいわね。
追伸、この秘密箱はあなたに差し上げます。よろしければ使ってください。
明智さん。
I wordlessly placed Akechi's letter in my pocket and closed the box a second time. It dawned on me that tomorrow would be another day in which we and Mr. Mackenzie would learn and work as a team of detectives. This mystery had been solved, but there would be more to come to test our bonds. I could still feel the essence of Akechi's touch on the small wooden box, that he too once held this precious thing warmly to my soul. I like Akechi. I really do. I'm just having a bittersweet feeling right now. Because he wasn't my first choice. I like him, but he wasn't my number one. Big way.
ホームズに声をかけてみましょう。
And I don't think any of these gathering things increased affection points because they don't have any heart marks. My baby. I miss him. Let's sit next to him this time. I decided to sit down next to him. The sun's warming rays felt like heaven against my skin.
いい天気。こんなに暖かかったらお昼寝したくもなるでしょうね。
その
The once sleeping Akechi had straightened himself out when he saw me.
あなた、いつからそこに？
ついさっき来たばかりよ。ごめんなさい。起こしちゃったかしら。
いえ、ふと目が覚めただけです。ですが、あなたの気配に気づかないなんて。やはり、まだまだ鍛錬が足りない証拠ですね。
He's so serious.
明智さん、こういう時でも鍛錬のことを考えているのね。
That's a good point of his.
気の緩みは、深刻な損失につながる可能性がありますから。
He was alert enough, certainly, but he seemed very tired as well.
明智さん、あなたちゃんと睡眠はとっている？
ご心配は無用です。ちゃんと寝ましたから。3日前に。
Akechi?
3日前？それってつまり、ここ…
そんなに驚くことですか？
私にはそれが当たり前だという明智さんの方が驚きだわ。
僕にはまだまだ学ばなければならないことがあるんです。
Akechi, I think that this is normally called Kaizo.
時間を惜しんでいては。
Come on, come on. Just rest your head on our shoulder.
明智さん？また眠ってしまったのね。
And I didn't have the heart to wake him up after hearing his rather demanding schedule.
明智さんには後でもう一度声をかけることにしましょう。
With that, I stood back up as quietly as I could and went off to find someone else. But there is no one else. We're going right back to Akechi.
明智さんはさっき…
Yeah, it's just watch him sleep. Call out to him.
みんなと外でお食事して風は爽やかだったし。
Oh, we ended up with Marple here too. I noticed the picnic baskets I had taken with me were still settled out of their usual place and recalled my trip. Let's see, nostalgia, what was that? Wait a second, are we back on Marple's route? Are we really? It's Marple's route! I'm okay. It must be because we had only reloaded from the box puzzle and not from earlier on. It's because we weren't nice enough to Akechi and recorded him in our memories the first time around. I know where we made the problem. When east comes to west, yes, in this one. I'm broken inside.
日記を書こうか。
一体何者でしょう。すみません、まだまだ鍛錬が足りません。
今日は少し疲れたし、もう寝ようかしら。
After all this work we're putting in for him, we had better get his good ending.
ごめんよ。レディに。
Are we feeling good today, fellas? I was having a nice day. We were all having a nice day.
And
there's no option for Akechi here, so
ルーピーのメッセージを解いてみましょう。マリー・アントワネットの暗号かしら。
It was,
左の
left,
上の
uh,
右の
right, right.
上のやった、開いたわ。
This had better be it. Sarah, Miss Sarah Marple. I love you, but I wish you weren't the default. We're almost there, everybody.
Miss ホワイトリー、大丈夫ですか？
We did it. We did it.
明智さん、どうしてここに？
昼食もごちそうになりましたし、片付けを手伝うのは当然かと思いました。
He's so dutiful.
それに、あなたを一人にするのも心配でしたし。
ありがとう、明智さん。
いえ、一般の恩も返したいですから。
Thank you, I did my best. I began packing everything away.
ミス・ホワイトリー、あなたは普段料理は？
ほとんどしないわ。普段は屋敷の料理人にお願いしているから。
なるほど。では、今日のスコッチエッグを作ったのはあなたですね。
Does everyone think that the eggs are nasty? Like Akechi's not even from around here. This is his first time having Scotch eggs.
まあ、その通りよ。でも、どうしてわかったの？
他の料理と比べて形や大きさが少しなんというか、それに時折あなたの視線がスコッチエッグを食べているものに向いていました。
Now that's a detective. I'm not fond of Scotch eggs myself, to be honest. Oh, I think they're pretty good. Come to think of it, it's been a while since I had one. There was actually this food court by the mall that had a good variation on Scotch eggs, though it's been like, what, a couple years since I went there? Maybe I should check it out one day.
やっぱり、
ええ、まあ、当然です。
せっかくのピクニックだもの。それに、明智さんや小林くんにとっては初めてのものでしょ。少しでも楽しんでほしくて。そのために私にも何かできることはないかと
まあ、あなたのおかげで有意義な時間を過ごせたと思います。
まあ、
嘘を言ったところで何の得もありません。
Hi, Zakuichi. We're in pain.
それに、こんなところであなたの手料理を食べられるとは思わなかったので、ごちそうさまでした。
どういたしまして。明智さんに喜んでもらえてよかったわ。
Akechi averted his eyes from me, a small pinch of warmth across his cheeks, before resuming his end of the cleaning.
霧が出てきましたね。
ええ、これ以上霧が濃くなる前にみんなのいる馬車へ急がないと。
I rushed to gather everything up, but as I started to walk, I realized Akechi was nowhere to be seen.
明智さん。
I spun my head round in hopes of spotting him, but I had no such luck with how limited my vision was. I wasn't fond of being alone like this. I could feel an inexpressible sense of nervousness well up within myself.
明智さん、一体どこにいるの？
ミス・ホワイトリー！
I heard his voice from far away. I rushed in the direction of the voice, as if to shake off the unease that fought to take hold of me. Soon after, I caught sight of a faint, human-shaped silhouette in the fog.
明智さんなの？お願い、待って。
But he showed no signs of responding. Perhaps he couldn't hear me. I think this is the same as with Watson. This is the same, definitely. Should we try the back alley?
話し声が聞こえるわ。こっちにみんながいるのかしら。
I wasn't completely sure of myself, but I chose to take my chances and enter. I felt as if I'd been walking for ages, but I hadn't seen hide nor hair of the speakers I'd been tracking.
さっきの声は私の幻聴だったのかしら。
The back alley was a pit of fog and more fog still, no matter how far I went. And the voices I suspected came from the only thing I knew was not my imagination, the wind, which turned out to sound remarkably similar to human speech as it tunneled through the narrow space.
もしかしてさっきの話し声はこのあるいは幽霊？そんなわけないわよね。
The wind seemed to roar through again as if to answer, and my nerves devolved from the strength of steel into the flimsiness of paper.
どうしよう。さっきの人影も見当たらないし、分かれ道まで戻るのも怖いし、もうこれ以上むやみには動かない方がいいわ。
Right as I thought that, a thud not unlike something heavy hitting the ground came from nearby. I'd been caught unawares after hearing nothing so distinct since wandering off, but with it came the very thing I'd been looking for, the silhouette. Alright.
置いていかれないように。ここは。
この僕を待たせるなんて。
This is different.
誰なの？
約束のものはこれだ。
この程度の暗号が解けないなんて。
一体何の話をしているの？
君ふざけてんの？
I like this voice. The man's patience had been worn to a thread.
ポーロック様。
Porlock?
なんだ？何かあったのか？
Is he also hot? Tension thick as the fog was stilted momentarily by the sound of someone calling out to a man whose clothing reminded me of a merchant's.
誰かいるのか？無駄な抵抗はしない方が身のためだと思うけど。僕が逃がすと思ってるのかな？
Porlock was another Holmes villain? Oh, he is looking very nice. Oh, yes, he's hotter. Yes, he is. Oh, man, I love the scarf. I mean, his neck looks kinda long, though, if you take the scarf into consideration, but I really like the face. Those kind of dulled eyes. Yeah. He looks like he'd kill me and not feel even the slightest bit sorry about it.
Miss ホワイトリー。
明智。
明智さ
ん。I'd scarf his dinner down for him if he couldn't finish.
まったく、あなたという人は。
His breathing was erratic and his forehead covered in sweat. It took but a single glance to know that he had been desperately searching for me.
ごめんなさい、明智さん。
今後はもっと自分を顧みて慎重に行動してください。お願いします。
ええ、心配をかけてしまって。
さて、ここで長話もなんでしょうから、馬車にお乗りください。そこで詳しいお話をしましょう。明智くんも学園の寮までお送りしましょう。
ありがとうございます。
We all climbed into the carriage and set off straight away. Oh, man, it was really rude of them to, show us the Lupin affection points when Lupin isn't available, though. That's so mean. You can't just dangle him in front of us and say to save him for dessert. Pendleton's sigh was the first thing to break yet another lengthy silence.
いい加減自ら来て。
ペンデルトンさん、今回彼女が一人で行動してしまったことは僕にも少なからず責任があります。あの霧の中で一緒にいた彼女を見失ってしまったんですから。
明智さんは悪くないわ。
ミス・ホワイトリー、
それと一つ気にな
ボ
る。
ーロック。
お嬢様、
さっき
フォーロックは裏の世界では有名な暗号の専門家でした。ですが彼が釈放される可能性は万が一にも。
A cryptographer, you say?
でも実際に私ははっきりと聞いたわ。
脱獄したという可能性はないのですか？
いいえ、彼は今もロンドン島に収監されているはず。お嬢様の聞き間違いでは。
そん
な。All right.
連れ去られた明智。
Oh, his abduction. And more specifically, they said Akechi's abduction. Akechi, are you good? Let's save here. Akechi route. Akechi route. Akechi route. Akechi route cry. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining me. This took a lot more effort than I thought it would. Thank you for joining me in playing this 5 times. It's been a very lovely evening. Thank you, Tuxedoji. I was planning on only doing Lupin's route and then, like, letting you buy the game yourself to go through all the rest, but I guess I'm going through both Akechi and Lupin. Who are we rating? Let me see who is online at the moment. I hope that they're having better luck than I am. Oh, and Vivlio, when are you and Lemon continuing the Yotame game? Not seeing anybody at the moment. Do any of you have recommendations? Any requests, everybody? While waiting for a request, I'm gonna look here. Time to raid a kitchen to feast. I don't know anyone on at the moment. Maybe we'll have a raidless day? Yeah, I think that we're gonna call it here for this evening. It has been a more exhausting Sunday than I expected, but well, it's still been a good night and a fun night since I'm with you guys. Yeah. Despite everything, let's all enjoy Akechi's route. After all, he was my first choice before finding out that Lupin was a choice. Yeah. And you know, I really like this type. This sort of serious-looking guy with white hair and glasses. The A in Akechi is for adequate. And tomorrow I'm going to be playing even more Otome games. More specifically, I'm going to be having an all-day marathon. I am planning on starting at about 10 a.m. my time, which is about 11 and a half hours from now. That's the plan at least, but if I end up a little late, please don't be mad at me. That is going to be all, and I wish you a good night, everybody. Or are you Monday canceled this week then? No, I'm going to try to end before 8. Oh man, I have no idea how long it'll take though. It's okay, I got food and soda stocked up, so I can keep myself locked in my room all day if I need.